really. Okay, it works.
Stream Elements. Welcome to my channel. DNK. Welcome to my channel. Drapsnat. Welcome to my channel. Nightbot. Welcome to my channel.
Yeah. Magic stick and fellow casting it. No. No, no. Thank you. Good. Smashing. Until they want next. No.
Tarsai. Welcome to my channel. Ro. Welcome to my channel. HVDES. Welcome to my channel.
Yep.
Nearly as brutal as hers. She gets called Heavy Potter, Lesbian Peter Griffin, and White Kim Jong-un. Although if you're familiar with Caitlin Campbell's content, you might argue that she really doesn't deserve it. Her videos focus on the uncontroversial topic of coffee, initially posting tutorials on how to make certain types or use specific pieces of gear.
My goal on TikTok is to help you brew the best coffee you possibly can at home.
Since she was also promoting her own product
Welcome to my
Street
channel.
Brew, Caitlin added videos talking about how she ran her business.
Welcome to the day in the life of a 29-year-old small business owner who makes coffee for a living.
And while this was already hard enough to manage,
Running a small business, running any kind of business is tough. There are going to be bad days, there are going to be bad seasons, there are going to be days you want to throw in the towel.
there was another thing making it even harder.
From the moment I started posting on TikTok, I was met with hate and trolls and negative comments. Like,
really? This is just the way it is with anything. Why is that guy saying really as if that's a fucking surprise? What's his first day on the fucking internet? What is this? Yeah, obviously she's overweight, so people are gonna call her fat. Like, what are you sugarcoating, pussyfooting around for? Like, that's just the way it is. If there's something wrong with you, people on the internet will remind you that that is the case. If you're balding, people will tell you that. If your nose is too big, you'll be reminded. If you're fat, they'll say that you're fat. That's the way it is. And it doesn't matter, like, XQC, like, think about anything that's wrong with a person, like, whether it's a mole on their face, whether it's anything. People, a lazy eye.
moment I started posting.
You're like, here's some coffee.
Yeah, and
they're
just
like, "I
like
hate you."
destroy.
Yeah.
On an early video encouraging people to open their own business, Caitlin received comments such as, maybe start a gym.
Well, of
see
course, people are going to take this they're going to take this personally because she's encouraging people to take ownership and accountability for their own life and improve it. And like, of course, people don't want to hear that. They want to hear that every problem that they have is because of their parents or the government or another race of people.
of
It's because of
food,
black
and
people
all
or
you
white
do is
people.
roast coffee
That's the
beans.
reason
Calm
why.
down.
Or women.
This understandably began to hurt her feelings.
Definitely like really bothered me because
Yeah,
like in real life people aren't jerks like that
Yeah.
mostly.
This is a very important point to make.
So much that Caitlin
Yeah.
felt the need to reply to the negative comments. Building a community. Yeah, you started it all. Never claimed I started it all. How can you be good at coffee? The same way you can be good at anything else. Practice and make better.
What do you mean? How can you be good at coffee? Like, couldn't you just? I mean, like, there's got to be like a way to be good at coffee, because if there wasn't, then there wouldn't be like companies that sell. What are you talking? Coffee's a skill. I'm sure there's a spectrum of quality that exists with coffee. Yeah, I mean, is it as large of a spectrum as playing a violin? Probably not. But I'm sure there's some variables there.
Coffee. You're just making coffee. Everyone is good at making coffee.
That's
I beg to
crazy.
differ, with the continual hate bringing Caitlin to a crossroads.
You have two choices: keep posting content and ignore the trolls, ignore the haters, go out there and win.
There was this one girl I saw on Instagram who would go out and parking
Marksing.
lots.
Hi guys, because
Welcome
I
to
don't
my
have any
channel.
hobbies, my new hobby is reviewing parking lots.
And everybody loved her. What was the difference? She was hot. That's the way it is.
Or stop posting content and do something else.
Rather
Yeah.
than defending herself, Caitlin began embracing the elements that made her page unique.
How
Sure.
I deal with the hate. I don't live and die by the comments. I'm not searching for validation from people who don't know me.
And when asked if she could focus on the coffee and not inspirational speeches, Caitlin politely told the viewer that she'd keep doing whatever she wanted, which when done this eloquently certainly adds to a person's charm. It's so funny to see people getting so triggered over somebody sharing stuff about their passion. We get it, you don't like coffee. It
Yeah.
honestly blows my mind. People get so triggered over coffee. Why are people getting so mad? It's literally just coffee. Say it louder for the people in the back. It's so
The reason why they're triggered is because she's invested and engaged in something, and she lives in a lifestyle that they don't think that she should be happy in. So whenever they see a person who's happy in a lifestyle that they disapprove
Yeah,
of,
you
it makes
you
people
like
mad because
Right.
it makes, I think, a lot of them question internally what their value system really is built off of. Because if there's a person who's happy doing a thing that this person hates, why do you hate that thing? It doesn't make logical sense.
so funny to see people get mad you like coffee. Everyone has hobbies, so what's wrong with coffee being one? It's crazy how triggered people get, although this failed to stop the rapidly increasing negative comments.
Yeah,
On a
because
video
they're calling her fat. I mean, like, what's really, is this really, I mean, this is so crazy to me that, like, this is some kind of a fucking revelation that people are gonna call you fat on the internet. Like, bro, duh, like, god damn.
simply talking
Jesus.
about her
Aaliyah.
daily coffee intake.
Welcome to
he
my
was
channel.
berated her by stating, how about you watch your calorie intake too? You eat 2 chocolate cakes a day though too, yeah? You don't look like you worry about intakes. I guess she didn't really help herself by making lattes out of Fruit Loops, although the shirt she was wearing in the video revealed another reason she perhaps didn't deserve the hate. Caitlin explained that she began TikTok because she missed out on her dream job.
So I got rejected from what I thought was like my dream job at the time. I used to be a pastor.
Which was a role she'd been studying for over 4 years.
So I wanted to go into ministry. That's what I went to
Yeah.
school for. I worked in ministry for 4 years.
And while being religious doesn't automatically make her better or moral, you
No,
could-
it does, because people, like, the truth is that in our culture, the predominant religion is Christianity. So a lot of the people have had bad experiences with Christianity. And because of that, people, and also, like, let's be honest, and I think it's because it's not the dominant religion, it's much less socially acceptable to be critical or
Cook.
negative about Islam, about Hinduism, about, like, I mean, I don't know why the fuck you would be negative about Buddhism. It's not even the same thing. But, you know, any other religion. I think that absolutely, you know, at least in the Western world, Christianity is kind of the predominant religion. Sorry, not Western, English speaking.
I'd say that somebody who dreams of being
Didn't you make a statement about how people won't like you if you're fat, and then Twitter and TikTok went off on you because the fat people there felt attacked? This is proof of what you're saying. I bet you'll still have people that disagree with you. Well, then that's why I never really need to defend this stuff, is because facts don't need to be defended, they can just be proven. And just the future will prove these things right. And so I don't need to go and like argue with somebody and fight and like claw this away from them to try to like prove them like, oh no, I'm actually right. Just wait and see. Just wait and see. So yeah, you've got a lot of people that have a lot of negative opinions about religion, especially Christianity, because a lot of the people that are on Western speaking Twitter, Western speaking TikTok, their mom and their dad probably took away their toys because of Christianity. And that's the reason.
Pasta might be slightly more ethical than the standard TikTok troll, because Caitlyn then revealed that 20% of her company's revenue goes to the homeless population in her city.
Oh, fuck. I mean, like, Mr. Beast did this. What a mistake.
Which led to a positive article titled, "Duo behind Street Brew Coffee wants to serve change for Toronto's homeless." Caitlyn also managed to land on breakfast television until her positive path was reversed by one single TikTok that created hate.
Making coffee is harder than your 9 to 5.
Cheerio. You boil your coffee to the exact gram, and then you have to get it ground up. It's exhausting turning this crank over and over again. Then, after weighing out your water and getting it heated up, you have to pour it out in circular motions over and over and over again until you reach the goal weight. The whole process can take 4 to 6 plus minutes, depending on what brew method you're using, just pouring water over and over. Then finally, after all that hard work, you can enjoy the cup, but man, I'm exhausted. I need a nap.
After her TikTok gained over 2 million views,
Who got mad
Caitlyn was
about that?
duetted by people working in manual labor.
Oh my fucking god, bro. Oh my fucking god. This happened with Assad, right? And like, I defended him and people said the same thing about me. And like, yeah, they just asked for it. Yeah, it's actually crazy that like, there will always be these people that have like they're waiting to trauma dump. The moment that somebody says they have it hard, you have these people that have like a
Eva,
fucking utility belt
welcome
of
to my
problems
channel.
like they're Batman. And it's like, I have to wake up early, I only have one leg, and I had to walk to school, and it was uphill both ways somehow. And it's like, oh my god, man. Can anybody, it's like people that are like, they are like suffering to them as a competition. And if anybody is suffering in a way that they feel isn't valid, then they suddenly lose their mind. It's just, I grew up in a box. Yeah, exactly. It's so obnoxious. I hate people like this. The oppression Olympics. And also she was clearly joking. It's just a joke. Like, it's not a big deal.
Making coffee is harder than your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Which were captioned with titles such as, "So thankful I'm not making coffee anytime soon.
Yeah.
Honestly don't know how I'd manage." When a similar duet gained over 13,000 upvotes,
Duet?
most people managed to realize that Caitlyn's video was satire. However,
obvious.
it seemed as though the backlash was exactly what she wanted.
Yeah, I'm just trying to engagement bait. That's my goal.
Given a single negative tweet bashing Caitlyn would explode her mainstream presence.
What is this phenotype? Nickelodeon and its consequences? I mean, it's just, this is about her being fat. Like, that's it. It's just, That's all about it.
The post featured a video of Caitlyn with the caption, "What is this phenotype? Nickelodeon and its consequences."
Yeah.
To which Caitlyn politely responded, "Oh hey, that's me. I just love my job and want to make people smile," which wound up gaining over 30 million views.
Wow.
Her humble response led to favor from the media, as well as a shout out from an Instagram page called Quentin Quarantino, with the post gaining almost 70,000 likes.
That's a lot of
Caitlyn
likes.
explained how much the hate had helped her grow.
A couple days ago, a troll posted one of my pop-up videos in the hopes of tearing me down and spreading negativity, but it backfired in the best way possible. We were flooded with orders. We had our best sales day ever. We grew thousands of followers and just got so much positive feedback.
Although with a bigger Instagram following, Caitlyn faced another problem. While TikTok automatically filters hateful comments, Instagram isn't quite so generous, and as a result, her posts filled with nothing
A
but
lot of what did the post say? Bro built to survive a car accident. This bro, look at this. Look at this. This is. There's no way the person that posted this has gone through puberty. Look at it. These are all pictures of like. This is some random, just some random skinny white kid. Do you really need to go and talk shit? Do you really need to do that? Like, because if all the people like just settle down.
nothing but brutal insults. In the process, Caitlyn cultivated the world's most dedicated hater, Anonymous51782, who went through all of her old posts to write negative comments on all of them. Caitlyn.
Oh, so he has a mental illness. Yeah, I've dealt with these people. People do this to me too. It's actually pretty common that content creators have people like this happen. Like, yeah, I've had tons of people do this to me.
Haters also developed a whole new style of comment, simply writing hate from followed by their place. There was hate from Epstein's Island, hate from St. Jude's Children's Hospital, hate from the front lines of Ukraine, and hate from the cartels. But more simply, there was hate from Australia, which gained the attention of the Yo Mama's House podcast.
This is one of the biggest ones that go. People just love hate. From Australia!
In a 13-minute video talking about hate, Tom Segura pointed out that the comments were getting more likes than she had followers.
Ignore all the positive comments. 70,000 likes.
And she doesn't have like 1 million followers.
I just like, what I find to be so crazy is it's like a bunch of middle-aged men. Are we all pretending here? Like, we've got to be pretending, right? That this is a shock that a bunch of kids pull out. Hi, Cassie. Oh, with the new model. Yeah, congratulations on that. It's like, is it a bunch of dudes that are like pretending, like, why would they make fun of this fat girl? Why would they possibly do this? What could possibly be their propaganda whenever they were in middle school? The funniest fucking thing, the thing they laughed at the most was whenever the fat kid fell down the stairs. That's 100% what it was. That probably was. But we gotta go and sit and act like that's not what we were doing? Come on.
This is a meager.
It's obvious what's going on.
Yeah,
It's a bunch of kids.
like 40,000, which is not nothing for sure.
Although it'd be also through this video that Caitlyn's following quadrupled, which she'd capitalised on in a pretty clever way, by launching a Hate from Australia coffee blend. Talk about turning lemonade from lemons. Brilliant marketing move. As a result, Caitlyn became a guest on the podcast.
So we got your mom's house coffee, and then the Hate from Australia, which is actually Australian coffee. So nice
This
blend.
is?
And with given the chance to slam her competition, she did the opposite.
There's a lot of coffee enthusiasts in Starbucks. This crap. What's your take on that?
We owe a lot of third wave coffee success to Starbucks, so no animosity there. They started the third wave coffee movement. Without them,
Caitlyn then expanded on her strategy for dealing with hate.
I know who I am. I'm very confident in who I am. I'm very supportive.
That's awesome.
I'm very supportive of people, and they can call
That's
me
the
on
way
my
I
DSL.
feel. Like, people come and make fun of me for shit. It's like, you think I don't know I'm bald? You think I don't know that I have a weird looking face? Like, I have a fucking mirror. You think you're the first person
Sophia.
to tell me that?
Welcome to my channel.
What? Bro, I knew this for a bit. What are you talking about?
Yes, and they're more than allowed to, and you're not in my close circle. I don't really care what your opinion.
Such
I
a
think
good
we're-
After which she and
Yeah.
Tom filmed a classic TikTok workout. And with comments such as, Tom Segura brought me here and you're now my favorite person, it seemed your appearance on the podcast had made a significant impact. Taylor has never become so popular that she had to return to certain common events.
We're getting emails. Like, oh, we are taking the rest of the year off.
With the social media genius and the sunrise following comments, words cannot express how much love I have for all the hate you've gotten. Look what happens when you're caught and roll with the punches while staying true to your mission. So happy for you.
You know what's kind of crazy about this?
This
Is that this person is doing what Jesus would say to do. Because everybody always likes to talk about how they're a Christian and then they're smoking crack. But it's actually kind of crazy that this person genuinely is doing what the scripture says. She should have gone into the fucking, I don't know, being a nun or a pastor or whatever, the ministry. Yeah, the ministry. She should have done it. I mean, that's leading by example. It's incredible. I think this is such a great story of resilience. It really is. And there's nothing that makes losers more mad than realizing that everything that they say and everything that they do not only doesn't matter, but works against them. And I think that's what really makes a lot of those people mauled, is they see a person like this. And it's like, and also, by the way, the average age of these commenters, listen, 13 or 14. Like, I'm sorry, but like, this is, I refuse to acknowledge
Welcome to my channel.
that this is gonna be, like, these posts, the majority of the likes, I mean, this is 2 likes, but like the ones that have like 30,000 likes and shit like that, 16,000 likes. Like, I think these are 100% coming from at least teenagers, and I would probably say underage teenagers. I think that if you made the law where like kids couldn't have a fucking social media account, none of these posts would have existed. None of these posts. This is again another argument of why it should not be on social media. You look at this kind of shit. Profile picture was a family photo. Yeah, it's his 5th grade photo. They're super toxic. I hope you mean. They are, but like kids are toxic in like a different way. So it's not just young people, it's very self-esteem chunks. I think that no. I mean, you're right. It is older people as well. But the truth is that I think that a lot of people just don't like this type of mindset that like kids have, just being shitty, right? Talking shit, being obnoxious, everything like that. Especially whenever it's by a bunch of fucking losers. That's the thing, is like you see a lot of these people posting pictures and like, I mean, look, they're ugly as fuck. Like, they look like weirdos too. Like, what do you really get to sit here and talk shit? Of all the people that talk shit, it really doesn't need to be from you. Adults toxic but on point, kids are just toxic with pure stupidity. Yeah, this is just stupid. And so I would say that's really what we're going into. He's not saying the adults wouldn't do it, he's saying children, the picture would help. Yeah, it would. And I think it would reduce like the majority of this. Is it the same as kids on a street corner shouting abuse? Yeah, like I used to do that when I was a kid. Like I was on the bus and like, we would drive by somebody, I'd scream at them. Like, yeah, and like, would I do that now? Like, no, I would not do that. But as a kid, I thought it was the funniest fucking thing I could possibly do. 100% did that, yeah. And so, like, little kids, and like, the funny thing is that it shows that having a winning personality matters more than anything else. Because she's way more successful. She's, like, making money. People like her. And it's crazy because, like, there's a lot of guys, and like, you are gonna get people like this that are negative, and they have, it's like the red pill stuff. But like, if you're a good person and you're delivering a service and a product that people want to do, then people are going to be there for it no matter what. But let's not be naive here. You're playing on hard mode. You are. She played it on hard mode and she won the game. Congratulations. It is.
folks, this is Riker, and here are 5 crazy builds from the Diablo 4 Season 4 test server. We're showcasing 1 build per class. These are all builds that I expect to be top builds for their class, even if some of them might get nerfed somewhat. So let's start with the Barbarian. With the Barbarian, we have this Whirlwind Twister build. Look, everyone loves Spin to Win. People have loved Whirlwind since Diablo 2. Every RPG has to have some Spin to Win because just people love the playstyle. The question is always how viable is it? And Whirlwind's viability in D4 has kind of waxed and waned over the seasons. But right now it's looking like in Season 4 it's going to once again be a top performer thanks to what Diablo 3 introduced, which is Whirlwind creating twisters. Because what's more fun than being Whirlwind? Being a Whirlwind that spawns a million Whirlwinds all over the place. To get started with this build, you don't need any key unique items. In fact, the gameplay that I'm showing here is actually with a pretty scuffed setup. It's pretty basic entry-level gear. We are still blasting easily through content that is close to Nightmare Dungeon level 100. We're spawning a lot of twisters here, but you were seeing on PTR, people with fully blasted, fully mastered, fully maxed out gear. We're literally blocking the entire screen with twisters. So I do believe this is going to get a nerf, but I don't believe it's going to be killed. I think a couple of things are going to happen. We're going to see a reduction in the visibility of these twisters so that we can read more easily what's happening on screen. It will also nerf how many of these twisters we can spawn. But how are we spawning so many? Well, it all has to do with these tempering affixes. You can see the little anvil, 27% chance for Dust Devils to cast twice. And we have that here, and we have 4 weapon slots. So combine that with 25% increased Dust Devil size. So you're filling up 4 weapons with chance to cast more Dust Devils or increased Dust Devil size. When you're tempering, you have a good chance of getting what you want. Now, ideally, you do want at least half of them casting more Dust Devils. So you see here when you go to the blacksmith, you go to tempering, you put in an item, you click on weapons, and it's going to be Sandstorm Augments. You only have 2 options. That's great. Go ahead and temper, and here we go. Chance for Dust Devils to cast twice. Now, there's some aspects you're going to want as well. Looking at this, the Devilish aspect. After generating 100 Fury, your next direct damage creates 3 Dust Devils. Even more Dust Devils. Dust Devils aspect. Whirlwind leaves behind the Dust Devils, the damage enemies, and then we're taking Fierce Winds. Your shouts create 5 Dust Devils. Your Dust Devils are bigger and deal increased damage. So those are all the key systems on making your Dust Devils. For Dust Devils, you are taking 3 shout skills. Those shouts are going to be spawning your Dust Devils. So right at the start of a big engagement, you spam all your shouts. You are creating an absolute godly amount of twisters. Now it seems like the dev intent really was to make a double swing twister build a thing. There's another aspect that makes it such that when you cast double swing, you are going to cast twisters. But it just works better on Whirlwind. I tried the double swing one. That one was also fun, and it's possible that if the Whirlwind version is nerfed significantly, maybe the double swing one will rise. But because there was so much clear dev intent to make Dust Devil synergy, we are getting an S tier Dust Devil build for sure. Now, one little struggle I did start to feel with the Barbarian, being a melee character in Season 4, is it's really difficult now to stack damage reduction. Affixes on gear, you no longer get damage reduction to close, damage reduction to
Welcome to my channel.
So, and Barbarians also lose their innate 10% damage reduction. So, to fill in your defenses here, you're going to be taking Juggernauts to get a lot more armor. You're going to be taking Numbing Wrath to grab a lot more Fortify. You're going to be taking both Pathos and working in your Leap as well. So Leap is going to create an Earthquake. In that Earthquake, you're going to gain up to 25% damage reduction. It's going to be really big. Any source of damage reduction you can get, and 25% is added damage, especially against boss fights that hit. You're going to really need those defenses. And speaking of defenses, you don't want to just make sure your character's defenses are up and running, but also your computer's defenses, which leads us to a word from this video's sponsor, NordVPN. A VPN is an important tool for keeping your data secure and encrypted on the internet, and I don't dare connect to public Wi-Fi without first enabling my VPN. Be it on a phone or a laptop, in an airport or in a cafe, I turn on my protection before connecting to that public Wi-Fi, because you never know who may be snooping around trying to steal your personal data. Because that's what I cafe interconnecting to them. Turn on your VPN. Now your data is getting encrypted before going out. You can also use a VPN to get around region block content by picking a server in a different country. And NordVPN has thousands of servers worldwide. And it's so user-friendly that you're basically one click away from hiding your IP or browsing the web from a different country. And one account lets you have up to 6 devices, be it computers, phones, tablets, you name it. So, take control of your internet experience today with NordVPN. Right now, get an exclusive deal and 4 additional months when you use my link, nordvpn.com/Riker. It's risk-free, with no 30-day money-back guarantee. That's nordvpn.com/Riker. Click the link in the description below. Alright, the next build we're going to talk about is the Sorcerer Frozen Orb build for Season 4. This one does require a specific unique item, the Fractured Winter Claws. But this build is so fun, so strong, it's probably going to get a nerf, but again, I do believe this build will still be a top build because there's clear dev intent to make this build a thing. It's one of the showstoppers of Season 4. And what happens with the Fractured Winter Claws, casting Frozen Orb has a chance to spawn a random combo when it explodes. And then on Lucky Hit, have a chance to launch a Frozen Orb at nearby enemies. So you're shooting Frozen Orbs, those are spawning conjurations, and those conjurations are then shooting Frozen Orbs. Not only is this build really fun, it's really powerful, and it's actually surprising. So first off, a change to Frozen Orb, we can now consistently make enemies vulnerable. We are spamming Frozen Orb non-stop, and so enemies will basically constantly be vulnerable. This was an issue that Sorcerers had for a long time. We had to rely on, what was it, Frost Nova, in order to apply vulnerable to enemies. Now you are doing it with your main attack. Such a huge damage buff. Then this build is also a Lucky Hit build. We're going to want to stack as much Lucky Hit as possible. Lucky Hit, you're going to have a chance to reset the cooldown on your defensive skills, which again is going to really help with the tankiness. Our defensive skills here, we got Flame Shield. That just makes you immune while Flame Shield is up. Teleport, defensive skill. Teleport technically got a nerf, but still works great, can still maintain a good amount of uptime on Teleport. After you teleport, you have 30% damage reduction, so hitting Teleport. Pretty much off cooldown to maintain that, at least once every 3 seconds. Ice Armor, you can actually spam this quite a bit because while Ice Armor is active, you reduce its cooldown by 2 seconds for every 50 mana you spend. You are spamming your Frozen Orb non-stop, consuming so much mana, getting the lucky hits, getting those resets so often. Then as well, your Ice Blades, we're getting conjuration skills so that we can summon them ourselves sometimes. It's not terribly important, but we can summon our own Ice Blades in order to already get our Frozen Orbs popping off of those Ice Blades, but they'll be summoned automatically. And we're getting this cooldown effect on them. Ice Blades cooldown is reduced by half a second each time it hits a vulnerable enemy. All enemies are vulnerable, and we're getting summoned Ice Blades so that 20% of enhanced Ice Blades cooldown eventually gets applied to your other skills. And remember, our Ice Blades are getting summoned automatically. So, bam, a lot of cooldown, a lot of uptime on all our defenses. I'm highly considering this build as my build in Season 4 just because of how smooth the gameplay is. But again, we'll have to see how the nerfs pan out. Mana Shield over here, every time you spend 100 mana, you gain 24% damage reduction, so you are literally gaining defense and spamming offense. Using cooldown grants you barrier, you are popping your cooldown skills, generating barrier. It's a pretty easy this build. We're getting some of the battle plays just to squeeze out some more damage here. Then Lucky Hit effect. Again, cold damage against vulnerable enemies has a chance to regenerate mana. And then last, Avalanche. Lucky Hit. Frost goes with a chance to make your next cast of Frozen Orb consume no mana and deal more damage. Everything in this build just synergizes so well together. Then to work in even more defense, you got every path take 25% damage reduction against vulnerable enemies all the time. Juggernauts is always good. Frozen Orbit, that's for granted. Frozen Orb builds always use this. T-Bow's Will, not necessary. Probably best in slot. It got a nerf, not necessary to run this build. Same thing with Esu's Heirloom, not necessary. Storm Swell, increased damage to vulnerable enemies while you have a barrier. We can maintain this damage buff all the time. Telrasha's not necessary, but a nice damage buff. Accelerating lets us spam more Frozen Orb. Conceded more damage with a barrier up. Max Roll will have the full final build guides in time for the launch of Season 4. These are going to be post-nerf patch notes or once we get the official patch notes for Season 4. So don't fuss too much over this. This is really just the showcase of the insanity. And the imprint here, chance for Frozen Orb projectiles to cast twice, because hey, why not even more Frozen Orbs? Alright, next up we have the Necromancer. And we're going to showcase the Light build. This build is doing absolutely insane amounts of damage, and we need to preface that there is a bug going on here. And this bug will almost certainly be fixed. So this build will be nerfed, but still probably going to be viable, still probably going to be a top Necro build. And if it's not some good news for Necro fans, Minions. Who would have thought, folks, Minions are going to be a top Necro build in Season 4. But this
Yeah,
is just
crazy.
really cool, and I want to showcase it because it is revolving around the new Ebon Piercer Amulet. I've never run a Shadow Necro before, and this one got me really excited. So Blight is a skill that shoots out a shadow attack, and then it leaves a damage puddle on the floor that deals shadow damage over time. With Ebon Piercer, it's also going to shoot out 4 smaller projectiles that will pierce enemies, so you can shotgun with it, and they're also going to deal their own dots. Now the heart of this build revolves around combining this with a tempered effect. On lucky hit, up to a 40% chance to deal 23,000 damage. So the idea here is to be lucky and triggering that 23,000 damage on Blight and before Now Blight natively has a 50% lucky hit chance. And after the time, it's going to trigger a lucky hit effect. And the lucky hit effect here is up to 40% chance. So it's a 50% chance to 30% chance. That works out to 1% chance. So that means 1 in every 5 of your attacks before any buff or lucky hit will trigger this next attack. Every time you shoot the light, because you're a piercer, you're 5 attacks. So on average, every time you shoot the light, you should be getting 1 of these damage points. And of course, if you have other sources of lucky hit chance elsewhere, you can stack that even further, but, you know, it's still going to be relatively maybe you can get close to 2 what Necromancer expert Macro Bioboy actually figured out was that Ebon Piercer, these 4 smaller projectiles are replicate far more often than they should. Normally on it seems like this 3-second dot can potentially be triggering your lucky hit multiple times throughout its course. This is causing this damage of Blight to ramp significantly higher than it ought to. So this is almost certainly going to be fixed because again, it is resulting in absolutely insane amounts of damage scaling. But again, Devin can trigger this item from the game. Devin can probably nerf this into garbage. And the examples that we're seeing are not even really well optimized. Like, assuming this Ebon Piercer gets nerfed, and depending on how it gets nerfed, different ways you can still build a Light Necromancer. You can actually run with minions, you can run without minions, you can run with minions bar, interactions, you can run without it, use a two-hander. There'll be different ways to make up for the damage loss. It's going to be a huge damage hit, so we're not going to get back to the level, but even without this bug, this should still be a strong performing Necro build, and I just really hope that we're not going to get these tempered accuracies here, the lucky hit, the chance to deal a ton of damage. Go to your blacksmith, you go into your tempered section, under weapons, elemental sword, lucky hit, chance to deal, and the reason for this is because I like to level my own alt, and what I really enjoy is making characters farm up stuff and make alt leveling more fun. And I've done this, and it is really fun to take a weapon, imprint 23,000 extra damage, and now you are a level 20 character destroying content, feeling like an absolute boss, feeling rewarded for farming stuff on your high level character, and you are power leveling yourself. So if they can find a way to fix this interaction in a way that doesn't just gut Elemental Surge, that is what I'm hoping for. Alright, next we're going to take a look at the Rogue over here. And we're going to showcase a rapid fire build that is using the new Scoundrel's Kiss ring. Rapid fire, already a really good Rogue build. Still going to be a really good Rogue build. You could run rapid fire without Scoundrel's Kiss, absolutely. But at its full power, you're going to want that Scoundrel's Kiss. Rapid fire now allows exploding arrows that deal a bunch of damage. And what makes this build really crazy is going to be the tempered affixes. You have 3 weapons as a Rogue, and you're going to want to stack in 3 places. Chance for rapid fire projectiles at twice. So you're just going to be sitting and turbo blasting your exploding arrows all over the place. Now, normally when you're playing a range rogue, you want to play range rogue, but actually the ideal playstyle this build is being an in-your-face melee ranged rogue, getting enemies right up close to you and bombarding them at close range. And there's a couple of reasons and tools we're going to bring together in order to maximize the effectiveness of this. This is also a combo points rogue, so you want to be stacking up your combo points before you unleash your volley of rapid fire. This isn't just sit and channel rapid fire. You're going to want to work those combo points in. Hit your 3, then boom, release your rapid fires. We're using Puncture to apply Vulnerable. We're getting 3 ranks of 30 for 12% close damage reduction. Again, we're going to be in your face, and it's really difficult to stack damage reduction now with Itemization 2.0. So getting sources of damage reduction are very significant. This rogue can be pretty tanky, and you'll see why in a bit. Slap a point into Rugged, 9% damage reduction against dots. Poison is still crazy overtuned damage-wise. We're squeezing out some more dodge chance over here with Agile, but Dark Shroud. We're getting a full 5 stacks of Dark Shroud. And with Enhanced Dark Shroud, we have a 40% chance for those Dark Shroud shadows to not be consumed. And the Dark Shroud is giving us 9.6 damage reduction per active shadow. Again, this is a huge amount of damage reduction we can stack. You'll notice that we're actually not keeping Dark Shroud on our bar. Keep that in mind when we get back to the gear here. We're taking Cold Imbue for its big single target damage. We're taking Death Trap so that we can pull enemies in. Not only do we want to be in enemies' faces, we want to bring them right into us as well so they're in the range, in the explosion radius of those arrows. Now looking at our gear here, we want the Umbrous Choker aspect to automatically trigger our Dark Shroud. On quick strikes with marksman skills, which rapid fire is 1. They have a chance, 90% chance, right, to grant a free Dark Shroud. So we're going to be just keeping up our Dark Shroud just by rapid firing. We need a base amount of lucky hit, but this build really focuses on crit strikes, so we're going to have a huge amount of crits, and that's why we're not even taking Dark Shroud on our skill bar. Defensively, we're grabbing the Might aspect, which is suddenly really, really valuable in Season 4, again, because 20% damage reduction, just flat out, really hard to come by now. Undying will give us some sustain. We're going for attack speed in general, getting some rapid fire. Juggernaut's still going to be very strong. Overall, I can tell we're going to have the most sexy builds. We're also blast fluid. Right off the bat, you're probably seeing videos of builds with Boulder and Hurricane. We're not going to showcase that because that is going to get fixed, and I think that's going to put the Boulder and the Hurricane and all those builds in a position where they're not going to be the top builds. I think what we're going to see as a top build for the Druid is actually just an improved version of an existing standard build, which is the Werewolf Tornado. But we haven't seen some at least, thanks to some new items. We got Druid Expert Boilers, blasting in the pit with various Druid builds. And so I want to showcase a little bit that actually puts pets now into this tornado build that is going to be the Druid build of Season 4. And it's contingent on a couple of interactions. The first being the Shepherd's aspect. Imprinted core skills deal an additional 20% damage per completion. So we want to be stacking to gain as much damage bonus here. And of course, for tempering, we're imprinting Transfer Tornado twice, so that we're spamming again for tornadoes. Now, the other item that we want here is the Stampede aspect.
Welcome to my channel.
Additional companion. Again, that's going to be another 20% damage buff there. We want this on a two-hander so that we're getting the full 20% and not 10%. And then we're still trying to get so for the most part, Poison Creeper, but then for Ravens, we're going down to Brutal Ravens to have 2 additional Ravens to have more pets, to have more damage. Now here's the thing, any Werewolf Tornado build needs a Tempest Roar. This item is typically very difficult to get. You're going to want to run this build until you get Werewolf Tornado running. But again, thankfully this is the most difficult to get in this build. It's the only real required item. The aspects will be easier to farm. We do have a couple of uniques helping us out, but they're not mandatory. With the Hunter's Zenith Ring, you gain a bonus when you kill with a shapeshifting skill, so this isn't for bossing, this is more for speedrunning. In Werewolf form, your next non-ultimate Werebear skill costs no resource and has no cooldown. This is going to let you spam your debilitating roar a lot more, or trample if you want that. Whereas in Werebear form, your next werewolf skill will heal you. And the werewolf skill we're going to have is Tornado, because with Tempest Roar, your base storm skills are now werewolf skills. We'll also work in some Wild Heart Hunger Boots. Shapeshift, you gain Wild Heart for 5 seconds, which gives us a stacking damage buff that can be quite considerable. Now, another huge thing with this build for this season that actually lets us spam vastly more Twisters, more Tornadoes, in addition to casting them twice, that now as a primary affix you can get Spirit per second. Before I rolled this, I was asking myself, what am I doing wrong? Why am I so bad? And then I rolled just a single affix to Spirit per second. I got a minimum roll. It's not even masterworked at all. Again, this is super basic entry for this build. Of course, you get a Tempest Roar, but we have no masterworking, unoptimized gear. As soon as I got that Spirit per second roll, Druids are so resource thirsty. Once you let them passively generate Spirit, my gosh, now this build came online. Now I am spamming the hell out of my Tornadoes. Now this is fun. Of course, you're getting your regular synergy with your Tornado, Storm Chaser to chase after your targets. Juggernaut, standard for defense. Vigorous, gain 15% damage reduction while shapeshifted into a werewolf. Most of the time will be werewolf, most of the time we're spamming Tornado. Changeling's dead here. You deal 83% increased damage while hitting a poisoned enemy as a werebear or crowd-controlled enemy as a werewolf. We're going to have synergies where we're going to be CCing enemies quite a bit, so we should be able to benefit from this quite a lot. In our Spirit Boons, we're going to take that 10% reduced damage from leads and make damage reduction now very, very important to go after. This build is quite tanky. You can build quite a good amount of sustain as well. Masochist, lucky hit, or winning back life. Tornado is able to sustain vulnerable on enemies very easily. With Iron Fur, 9% damage reduction while in werebear form, persists for 3 seconds after, and we're going to be able to spam Debilitating Roar quite a bit to maintain a lot of uptime on that. Vigilance, 50% damage reduction for 6 seconds after using a defensive skill. Again, Debilitating Roar is a defensive skill. Debilitating Roar is going to heal us. It's going to give us Fortify. And Hunter's Zenith, again, really helping us spam that Debilitating Roar because Werewolf, your next non-ultimate werebear skill, costs no resource and has no cooldown. So again, doesn't help versus bossing, but just doing the runs in the pit, for instance, up until you hit the boss, you're going to be constantly killing enemies with your Tornadoes, which is Werewolf, allowing you to use your Debilitating Roar skill. We're using Trample not just as mobility, but also as a Spirit Potion. Once you pop it, you're going to get 40 Spirit with Savage Trample. Now in Venom, very important, we're going to deal more crit damage against poisoned enemies. With our Poison Creeper, we actively pop that in order to poison a big group of enemies. So I'm going to be popping your Poison Creeper in order to deal more damage in an area. With Toxic Claws, we're going to be naturally poisoning enemies, but it's not going to be as fast or as effective as popping your Poison Creeper. Circle of Life, Nature Magic, that's going to be our Tornado, where we're naturally healing, naturally sustaining. Heightened Senses when shape-shifting. Werebear grants 12% damage reduction, again. And this bonus is doubled while you're rapidly swapping forms. You can stack so much toughness with this build. Now for this build and all the builds that we've covered, maxroll.gg, in time for season release, will have the optimized setups for all these builds, and that's going to be based on the latest patch notes as well. So just stay tuned for those. Season 4 launches on May 14th, and be sure to check out my impressions video on the Season 4 patch report. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Plus, thanks to my supporters for making these videos possible, and subscribe to my Rikers Raiders for more Diablo content.
Deadbolt actual. Systems have gone crazy on all aircraft at ARF. And
Marking
my God,
contract.
he's playing up again.
The fuck?
Marking extraction zone. Marking contract. Enemy movement. Nah, cancel that. Marking contract.
guys are getting turf stomped by this sucker?
I don't think you're. So you're going to Dark Heater, I'm guessing.
Alright. Gotta,
I'm in.
you wanna go oldies or we're going?
Is this the
Head down
thing?
there now.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you. I already, my money's bugged out, you know, like it's
Yeah,
nonsense.
everybody's just doing that.
Right, electronics are going absolutely mental down here. I've got my people hiding out back till this soaker blows over.
Heard before. Got eyes in the sky watching the storm develop. Strike team, not the time for...
My money was going from like 5k to like 50k, like in a second.
That's good interest.
Yeah.
Where'd that other guy go? Is he not coming?
Maybe he has other plans.
Oh. Okay. Looks like it might just be us three.
Yep.
We will fight bravely.
Or die trying. Wait, did I vote?
Why can't I
I
won't
did.
let me vote.
Oh, because he left the team. It's bugged. He left the team and he's supposed to vote, and when the voting ends, he's gonna get teleported. It happened to me yesterday. I left the team while they were voting, and it still teleported me. Wait, it's bugged?
It just gave me my sigil back.
Oh, let me try it.
There we go.
Oh
Now I
my
can vote.
god. Good God.
Alright.
I didn't get an extra cell.
Party started. Alright, let's do ether extractors first. So if you guys want to head up top, I'm going to go grab the contract.
Yep. I don't even know. Thank you.
got dogs with us. We're good.
It's like I threw the decoy, but the dog keep biting me because it's bugged.
Wow, why is there 1,000 motherfuckers there? Oh my god.
Um, Here we go again. Can they disable like spawning of zombies when you're trying to pick up the stuff you got? Like for a like 10 seconds. Not asking much. Back off.
Alright, I'm grabbing the escort contract.
What? Like 50 zombies from all the sides.
Set him on the very corner.
Like that?
So we can get as many on here as possible. We need to get 5. Quit hitting me, you little shitheads.
I got one up there, yeah.
There we go. Start this bitch.
So did you have the bug where all your missions, like talkie-walkies, disappear from a minimap?
No, I haven't had that.
Yeah, neither do I. For like for my almost 2,000 hours, I never seen like any contract despawning. But the catch is, if I knew where the contracts are, I could pick them up. But I can't see them. Or any shop, for that matter. So dumb.
Ooh, the dog's getting his ass kicked.
Oh my lord. Free crystal.
Level 1 crystal.
I guess. Okay. Thanks.
well.
Another big guy.
Keep going.
Yeah. Another crystal? Nobody? Anybody?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Damn, another mega.
It's like a sledgehammer way of like joking with people. I heard you like mega abominations, so I threw another one.
Oh, I knew it was gonna happen.
I like 1,000 zombies spawn.
Yeah, I got the thing going here, so it should be good.
I can't see shit. What?
It's going crazy.
This place hasn't been this lively last time I checked.
Pretty fucking exciting.
Yeah, this is like a job for like 5 people, not for 3.
We usually run this by ourselves if we have to.
Oh. Do you have all the recipes?
Yeah, I've got everything unlocked.
That's same. I'm just, asking.
Ooh, orange tool.
Oh, nice. That's actually a really good find.
Yeah.
Pretty stingy with those.
And ether blade.
Wow. Choices.
You're having a good run.
Best I've had in a while.
So, do we have time for the last contract? Oh.
Yeah, we got time. Alright, there it is. A lot of zombies over here. That bad boy started.
Back off.
How come my turret isn't shooting people? There it goes.
Throw your power up and you're gonna get another one.
Already did. Oh yeah.
Is there like a way to disable smoke? Because every time I shoot the new rifle, it smokes my screen.
No, there's not. I had the same thing. I went away from that and went back to my crossbow because of it.
It's like it's nice that it stuns enemies, but
Level 2
Oh.
crystal,
Oh,
ether
dog
blade
bone.
case, other sigil.
ether case. Okay,
Ooh, so I dropped an ether case?
Yes, take it.
Oh, Rob.
Yeah, sorry, I'm I'm putting it to temptation.
You thieving whore.
Like,
I'll never forget that.
You would have done the same thing.
I would have never done that to you.
wait, you like knives? Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, fellas, it's been a blast.
GG's.
See you sometime and take care.
Yeah. Nothing left to kill.
Yep.
Alright.
On the patch notes for Season 4 that they made some updates to some dungeons and some dungeon events and tried to improve a bunch of things. And immediately when I saw that, I realized that pretty much nobody is going to test that, because you either have to level up all the way up to 70 and then get some gear and start testing. And nobody's going to do that. Pretty much everyone's just going to be 100 and you can't test things. So what I did for the last 3 days is I leveled up a character to 70 and I meticulously tested every single nightmare dungeon. I tested the pit, and I tested all of the different events that spawn in dungeons. And then I made a big write-up right here that I'm going to submit to Blizzard to try to make the game better. So, you can see here, after looking through it, the best dungeon in the game is Sirocco Caverns, where you get 74 million XP per hour. And the worst one by far is Bastion of Faith, where you only get 33.5. So I just wanted to make a quick video and tell you what I found out and what I sent to Blizzard, essentially. So what are the goals of this testing? I wanted to look at the endgame activities and try my best to show them how to balance them. But I think I had this conversation with Joe Pipora like a long time ago, maybe like 1 year ago, and he said that Diablo 4 is not trying to smooth out every single edge. There is some variance in the events and how things go is good. It's what makes a video game, and I completely agree with him. So even if you balanced it perfectly from these numbers that I ran, you're still not going to have a perfectly... You're still going to have variance because I only ran each dungeon one time. Obviously, you want to run them more than once, but didn't have enough time. And the different builds perform differently and have strengths and weaknesses, whatever. We also want to identify all the bugs, what things still just don't work at all, and then we want to compare the different endgame activities to themselves and see if their rewards are appropriate. So we ran all the Nightmare Dungeons. Couldn't find Ritual Tower. I don't even know if that's an actual one. I couldn't find a key for Renegade's Retreat. I actually ran out of Sigil Powder or whatever trying to create the keys. Used a poorly geared Minion Necro. I actually chose this very specifically. A Minion Necro is just kind of a lawnmower. Just walks forward and the minions just kill everything as you walk. It's a pretty good assessment for the value of something. I'm not pressing, there's no skill shots or nothing. You just walk forward and you mow the lawn. Didn't use any shrines, didn't use any
Hello everyone. So today we're going to be using this aftermarket barrel for the Moore sniper rifle called the Photonic Charge Barrel. And what it does is basically, but if you're percent, so that's pretty nice. Also, to unlock this attachment, you need to get this weapon to max level and I think get 100 one-shot kills. But yeah, I will say this attachment is just not for the faint of heart. Like, it's honestly not that great in multiplayer. For Warzone and zombies, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit better. But yeah, this thing has like quite a learning curve, and even when you learn the learning curve,
consumables. In the unfortunate case where a dungeon got that stupid 30-second event in the middle that you just have to wait, I only timed it to 15 seconds in order to balance it, because the other events you can get done much quicker, and I didn't want to penalize a dungeon just because I unfortunately hit the RNG of getting the bad event. I added a 15-second loot penalty to every Nightmare dungeon. Not all loot is the same, but a lot of it comes at the end. And this is to kind of normalize the very, very fast dungeons. The very fast dungeons, you might say, oh my god, that dungeon is so godly, but really, if you have to spend time looting in all of them, raising all of their times up is going to give you a more accurate depiction of how valuable it really is. I killed almost every single monster in every single dungeon, including if I accidentally ran straight to the end and killed the boss, I went back and made sure that I killed almost every monster to normalize the results. And then finally, if there was an event, I always did the events after the Nightmare dungeons so their data could be collected separately. So, for Nightmare dungeons, on average, I was getting about 53 million XP per hour. The most I got was 74. The lowest I got was 34. In my opinion, having the highest Nightmare dungeon being more than twice as valuable as the lowest one that's too big of a variance. So, I actually wrote a lot of theories in this document before I ended up deleting it all. Blizzard is going to balance it however they want, so I just made a balance column here. Sirocco Caverns is 40% better than the average, and as you can see, Bastion of Faith rewards you with 37% less XP than the average. I wrote a bunch of ideas and theories here. Blizzard is going to do whatever they want with the data, so here's the column. I would say at a minimum, these 7 dungeons are absolute garbage. I would like you to buff them. You don't have to nerf anything, but if you want to nerf something, Sirocco Caverns I would say would be on the chopping block, because it's even 10% better than the second best one. Again, I only ran it one time, but you're getting almost 5 million XP in just over 2 minutes, so Sirocco Caverns is crazy. Some other things about Nightmare Dungeons is the 30-second event in the middle of dungeons is terrible. You have to wait 30 seconds and you don't get any experience for killing the monsters in it. So I think they should look at that one. And then they changed the timers for some of the obstacles to be 0.75 seconds when it used to be 2 seconds, so that does feel better. But everyone is just asking them, can they just be instant? Is this possible? I would love for them to address this in a campfire chat. And by the way, can we carry more than one item at a time? If I have a rock and I walk to another rock, can I pick it up and put it in my pocket and then put both of them on the pedestals, please? Here's some bugs that I found. Mercy's Reach, you just can't complete it. The door won't open. That's a major problem. This has been bugged since the start of Diablo 4. Gul'ran Canals has a slay all in the beginning. You kill them all, and there's 1 or 2 left, and you can't progress. This has been bugged since the beginning of Diablo 4. This is one of the best both of these are 2 of the best Nightmare dungeons. Please fix this. Earthen Wound and Collapsed Vault, they still have layouts where you can have very bad backtracking. It happened to me. So these are 2 layouts to look at again. Whispering Vaults and Endless Gates, the portals to go through them are not 0.75 seconds. Why don't you give us the instant portals from the pit? That would be way better. And then the levers in the middle dungeon, also not 0.75 seconds. They take way longer than that. I wish you would correct it to 0.75 per the patch notes. Now the Nightmare Dungeon events, in general, this is the main thing that they said that they fixed. They do pay way more XP on average than doing the actual Nightmare Dungeon, which is exactly how it should be, because if it's not higher than you have the event there, you just skip it, right? I guess you go for the loot, but it needs to be more rewarding. So The placement of that is better, so I give them a nice job for that one. The amount of dungeon events feels way too low. I ran 60 Nightmare Dungeons and I got 22 events. I was hoping to get like 1 per Nightmare Dungeon, whether it's a side event or a cursed chest or a cursed well or a cursed shrine or something. Or I would love to see ones where it has multiple events in them, especially since they're buffed. So I think the amount of events is way too low now, and the variance of them is very, very off. I got Last Stand 6 times, Cursed Shrine and Cursed Wells 5 times, 4 times. I got these 2 events only once, and I never got any of these events. Not a single time in 60 runs. They also introduced Goblin packs into the game. Spoiler alert. That was nice. I got 2 of them in 60 runs, and I got the Butcher twice. How do I get this 6 and 5 times, and these none? That doesn't make sense. The variance of a dungeon event is very extreme as well, based upon the mob type that happens to spawn in it. So for example, out of all the cursed wells that I did, the most valuable one was 158 million XP, and the lowest value one was 107. This is a huge difference just on the randomness of the mob type that spawns within the event. Last Stand, 101 for the highest, 70 for the lowest. A huge difference. This is maybe the biggest difference of them all. 93 versus 52. This is almost twice as good. So Blizzard needs to look at the different mob sets that they can spawn in the dungeons and balance them a little closer than this. Because I'm almost getting half just on the RNG mob type spawning in. Unfortunately, I didn't record which mob type it was. It would have been helpful to have. This needs an analysis and a read. The bugs. You can almost never finish Cursed Shrine because it stops in the middle of the event. This has been a bug for a while. Ravenous Soul, after you complete the event, you have to fight the boss. And the boss yells such power and then waits like 5 seconds before you can fight them. He needs to just be such power, fight the boss. Dead. You can save 5 seconds here for sure. And this event, Ritual of Blood, I think it just needs a redo. This is where there is a circle in the middle. Very big. Okay. And then the monsters, they all spawn on the outside. And guess what? My minion necro, I was just kind of standing over here. They would just kill everything instantly. The only way to progress the boss is to walk into the one is close and they die. I guess we can roll and try to vacuum in some in there. But the fact that the monsters always spawn on the outside is powerful. Throws an orb, or you have Hurricane, you have Dust, you have Minions. You're probably going to kill almost all of them before they can walk in. The fact that you don't spawn any in the middle, I can't complete the event. Unless I play that. I gotta run to the corner, run to the person, and then I gotta try to corpse tendril them in there. It's I think the event actually needs a redo or some kind of Pit went very well actually. The variance was very, very close. The most I got was 73 million an hour, and the lowest I got was 71. It's incredible. The times were consistent, only 6-second difference between the fastest and the slowest run. And the XP was about where I thought it would be. It's right in line with the highest Nightmare Dungeons, but you also pay the penalty of not getting the Glyph XP, but you also get the reward of getting some nice items, and you get the Masterworking Mask. So I think placement of the XP relative to the Nightmare Dungeons made a lot of sense. And then, but the only thing that I would say about the pit levels, which I'm not sure if they intended, is if you try really difficult levels of the pit, you pretty much get no extra reward. When the monster level was 10 levels higher than me, I got 3.5 million XP in a run. When they were 20 levels higher than me, I got 3.6, nearly the exact same number. I don't know if that was intended or not, but you get pretty much no reward other than the additional reward drops at the end. Now you could make the argument that maybe that doesn't matter because the pit is a super end-game activity anyway, and maybe you're supposed to already be 100 or nearly 100 next year, and it's not really that important. You could make that argument, and I mean, I made that argument already, so maybe it doesn't matter. But I want it to be a conscious decision by Blizzard. Did you mean for this to happen where you get essentially nothing extra for trying harder levels? If you didn't look at this and it was like an oversight, well then here you go, and now you can give people more of a reward if they want to do hard pit levels early before they're 1. Anyway, that's it guys. This is probably like maybe a really nerdy video. A lot of you maybe don't care about this data and don't care about the research and what goes into it, but I wanted to share it because I want to show that I do care about the game, and I do think, if this wasn't obvious, I do think this benefits the casual player. Because the entire idea of fixing the bugs and making everything equally valuable is when the thing comes out, you don't need my tier list. I'm actually obsoleting my own work. You don't need to know that you need to salvage these garbage keys and run these to be efficient. If everything is pretty balanced, you can just play. You can just play every single Nightmare Dungeon key that you get, you can just do whichever ones you like. And then, anytime you see a dungeon, if we balance everything there, then you'll know it's going to be valuable and it's going to be worth your time without doing any research. I think most people out there just want to play the damn game. If we make a lot of these changes, it will feel a lot better, solve a lot of bugs, and a lot of teleporters, anyway, I'm sending this over to Blizzard. Blizzard actually popped into my stream today. Adam said that they would absolutely read it if I provide it. So it's going straight to Blizzard after this video. I'll see you guys. We'll be making a lot more Diablo 4 Last Epoch PoE content. Having a lot of fun. Thank you.
Wow, PvP is dying? I wonder why. Who could possibly know that? Bro, I'm so sick of this fucking moth, man. I'm so sick of him. I think it was like 3. I killed these fucking things and now they're back again anyway.
Next topic is an interesting one because PvP, where have I gone? What's going on? Take a look at things now. Maybe do feel a little bit.
PvP has really been abandoned. It was a good run. That was from Magnus. Magnus is one of the best warriors in the world.
A little bit raw right now. It does seem that maybe Thunderstorm is traditional PvP. Of course, it's not PvP. It's not WoW. It is.
It's not WoW PvP. Like if you're playing WoW PvP, like Thunderstorm isn't going to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to just do this instead.
WoW PvP. It is. It's so dope. It's completely dope.
That's just fun, man. Yeah.
So we do some statistics to work out here, which is fun. Yep. So these are
the season 1, 2, and 3. Damn.
Yeah. Right. So what we're looking at here is a chart of games per week. Okay, for the top 5,000 players. I assume that's just because that's what the leaderboard tracks. Yeah. We definitely are a little bit held.
I wonder why that is.
So we have here.
The thing is that the reason why I think a lot of this happens is that WoW PvP is completely unapproachable. Like, why would you, like, let's say you're a young player, 17, good at video games, your parents are okay with you sitting at home all day playing video games, you might not even go to college, you're always going to be an idiot. So what do you want to put $10,000 into? Do you want to put 10,000 hours into a game that people that are older than your parents play? Or do you want to put 10,000 hours into a game like Valorant that has tons of e-girls, tons of Discord kids, you can get way more viewers on Twitch, you can actually have a competitive career? Like, why would anyone invest any time in Call of Duty? Because it has the least payoff of any competitive game. That's the reality. So there's no how hard the game is to play. We're not even going to see it. I'm talking about, like, what are the incentives? There's a lot of hot bitches that play League. There's not as many that play WoW. That's just the way it is.
Season 2. And this is again 3v3.
And the hot girls that play WoW are usually playing Red. There's a few girls that play PvP. But there's not as many as me. And if you're a 19-year-old dude, that matters.
So you can see that red line there about week 8. However, it is appearing to dip off. Yeah, longer time for the game. What we saw, you know, what we can do is look at solo shuffle lobbies per week. Roughly assuming that a lobby is 6. Now, kind of interesting. So you got what, say, 69,922.
I wonder how long they had this data for.
And we're looking at numbers of more like 44,000
season
for some of our peaks for the 3v3s. So you can really see that solo shuffle, you know, it's played more than 3v3, and I suppose that makes sense because it's solo queue. Now, season 3 is definitely having a worse time for solo shuffle than it was having.
Yeah.
Yeah, with 3v3. These numbers.
That's because people can't get queued. People don't want to sit in a 45-minute queue to play a game with some moron that just line of sights himself and then he just dies. And he says, "Where's the heals?" Why would somebody want to waste their fucking time doing that?
I'm all completely crazy. They're, you know, they are sort of near each other, but again, look at the y-axis. We are looking at 20,000 lobbies per tick in the y-axis, which is quite a lot of gameplay. So even more recently there.
That's bad.
That is a large. I don't know.
If they want to have this shit, if they want to get PvP back on track, they have to, in my opinion, I think they should make a separate game totally different than the base game. Like, because, like, there's just too many variables in the game. You have to have a
I know that one thing that hasn't happened is rating inflation, which is sports, I suppose.
So I think the thing to say here is these numbers are very small compared to others.
They are.
Very small. And all of
we
like
should
these
say what some of the numbers are.
I feel like back in like vanilla BC and Wrath, it felt like PvP was 50% of the game. And in Kata, Mists of Pandaria, and like WoD, it felt like PvP was like 30%. In Legion, it felt like it was like 20%. In BFA, it was like, and like, I feel like after that, it's just hovering around that 10%. Why'd they move away from it?
Cancel that.
I'm gonna be honest. It's not their fault. Other games provide provided a better PvP experience, and most people that were looking for a PvP experience went to those games, like League. There was a massive exodus in Cataclysm of WoW players that quit WoW to play League. Because, like, I was really into PvP back then. Like, how do you know that? I got DDoSed. So I used to know everybody. Because I would be a flag carrier for RBGs. And in the process of that, I remember whenever League popped off, and people were, like, saying, like, yeah, this is my last season. I think I'm going to quit playing. I'm going to try to go pro in League or be serious about League. And go into that.
So, solo shuffle is... how many people is it?
6.
Yeah, it's 2v2s. Yeah, it's 2v2s. Yeah. How many people are all This is PvP solo
I want to say
we need your aid.
I want to say 9.
Please help.
Is it 8 or 9?
Oh yeah, it's 3v3s.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many teams of 3?
Really, that's a good one. So many people.
Welcome to my channel.
Yeah, you're thinking about 50 different things. Somebody goes and says player hit an age where they couldn't keep playing the game, in my opinion. Look at Zico and Vinruki. They're like fucking 30-year-old things. No, it's not age. It's incentives. Like, age plays a factor. It absolutely plays a factor. But I think people dramatically overestimate what that factor is. The reality is that the reason why people aren't playing WoW PvP doesn't have to do with age. It has to do with incentive.
With Mythic Plus, we are dealing with weekly numbers that are...
That's my choice. I used to be good at math, and then I didn't look at any numbers, and I started.
What's the number they're trying to figure out?
Words instead, and it's been a horrible experience when I use things.
I don't even know what they're trying to talk about.
Yeah. I feel like even if you can't go, you know, if that's a lot, there's 150,000 people, but then, you know, how many people...
Oh, that? So that, yeah, that would be 120,000. Yeah, because it would be, well, it would actually be a little bit more than that. It would be 132,000. But yeah.
So let's just compare. Let's compare week 16. Week 16. We had about a million keystone drafts. Each keystone.
That's not empirical whatsoever, but that's so a million runs, 5 people within a run. I would think the thing is literally just there's a million keys versus 20,000 runs. Those are definitely
Fucking keys. That is crazy. Well, here's the reason why, is that you have to multiply the solo shuffle by 3. Because in the time that it would take a lot of people to do 2 Mythic Plus keys, solo shuffle players have to do keys. So the keys are 40 minutes, and they can do keys in 20 minutes. So then really you should multiply this number by 3.
numbers like
people within each one.
Yeah.
So basically, what this is saying is that even say solo shuffle, you know, 3 people they are both. The solo shuffle lobby.
I said
literally,
get 20.
like, it's really
I haven't done a lot of
I mean,
it,
that
so.
could be over. Within the space of 1 minute.
It's impossible for them to balance. Because, like, there's just too many variables. Too many people can play PvP in so many different ways to balance across, like, every metric. Like, in League of Legends, for example, every single game is killing the Nexus, right? Like, I've literally never played League of Legends. But every single game is killing the Nexus, right? Yes. Every game is killing the Nexus. So, in WoW, you have 3 different meta-level competitive PvP things. You have Arena, you have Capture the Flag, and you have Base Control. And like, the 2 of them are RPG. So you have to balance 3 completely different modes of gameplay to have some level of parity at the same time so that you can change the inputs that you have in the gear as many times as you want if something is good, like a really good trinket or something like that. So you have all these extra inputs, which is too much. It's impossible for them to get it right. I mean, League doesn't even get it right. That's why they're redoing balancing all the time.
The whole problem with PvP is that this is season 2 wasn't even good either. This is game mode. So we're getting to the point where they're not actually solving any problems.
I love this. So I just went to Google PvP runs per week. That doesn't bode well. Is there anything in
Well, it's like, and you think about it, what PvE game provides the experience that Mythic Plus provides? Because I'm trying to think about it, I don't really feel like there's any other game that provides a very high-level, competitive PvE cooperative experience like Mythic Plus. Yeah, they don't. So, like, Mythic Plus is the best at delivering that experience. Whereas for PvP, there are a lot of other games that are better at delivering that experience. So that's the difference. Like, WoW is the best whenever you're talking about things like Mythic Plus. It's not the best whenever you're talking about PvP. So why do people play it?
Completely awful, useless.
Every single way that search is done, and I'm assuming it has happened at some fuckwit asshole somewhere in this like search. I've revolutionized search to be so much more efficient and so much better, and you can do it in such a small road time, so much more efficient, stuff like that. Everything is a fuzzy search.
Yes.
You cannot search for anything exactly anymore.
We just live in fuzzy times, man.
Yeah, you want to search for a tweet from a person from time ago? No, fuck you. You want to find a quote on Google? No. Sorry, we've disabled that functionality. We thought you having access to information wasn't actually the point of the internet anymore.
Is that true?
We thought surfacing AI-generated slop into your eyeballs was the point of the internet.
Too much info? Really? Damn.
Enemy comms. How about you commandeer?
We'll have to do that differently. But anyway, the point is PvP is really in a dire state. The thing that Blizzard could do though to fix up a lot of this
They can't fix it, they'll never fix it again. That's it. Now, they can prevent it from dying as quick as it goes naturally. So this is a managed decline. At best. It's on high. Yeah.
That's not World of Warcraft. Please give me World of Warcraft.
It's always the same thing you're asking for it, and that's the problem. You play a PvP game, you're never gonna have a game that's not focused on PvP that has good balanced PvP that people give a shit about. Every successful PvP game that's good is League, Valorant, Smite, Dota, Counter-Strike, Fortnite, they're all PvP games and focused Rust, yep. Fighting games, yeah. That's what they're all about.
So, yeah, I feel like
you know what Blizzard should do? They should make it to where you queue up for Arena and it just puts you in Plunderstorm. Just put it out of its misery. And it's like, wait, what the fuck? I'm in whoa, what the fuck? Like, oh my god, like, and that's it. Yeah, no more Arena. It's done.
Sorry, PvP is very on the back burner.
Nobody cares.
It's frustrating people because they want minor fixes, they want minor changes.
Yeah, right now it seems like even just some of the MMR.
Yeah,
not MMR, sorry, rating.
That's most of the problem. I would like this queue to function so I can play people who I can play against.
Somebody was saying like PvP was popular in Kata and Mop. I feel like PvP was falling off at that point. Like I feel like PvP was at its peak at like late Wrath, early Kata, and then it kind of went downhill after that. And the reason why is that like obviously you need a big and I think the reason is that the game isn't watchable by spectators. Like, you can watch classic WoW PvP, and you can generally know what's going on. You can't watch retail WoW PvP and know what's going on. And I think the reason why MoP was popular is still, like, WoW was still kind of at a high, so you had, like, general player competency that was pretty high. But nowadays, like, the game has changed and evolved so much that unless you're actively keeping up with it, you won't be able to appreciate and understand plays that are being made. Like, you can see the health bar going down, but you don't really know what that means.
And it'd be a fine, fair, reasonable match.
Yes, so...
Sorry, even in the same
Watch each other's sixes. Track multiple undead hostiles inbound.
They're actually, like, in the long term, they're
yeah.
so, like, almost singularly focused on the big three things.
The balance wasn't perfect for the classic. Yeah, but the reason for that, like, you're never gonna have a game that has the level of complexity that Mists of Pandaria had, that is gonna have a growing player base. It was just too complicated. It might not be complicated for everybody in here because you're sitting here at 4 in the fucking morning watching a video about a video game. So, like, obviously to us, it wasn't complicated. But I think that Razer as a company owes a tremendous amount of its success due to the fact that Mists of Pandaria needed so many fucking keybinds that everybody had to buy a Razer Naga or get one from Switch. I genuinely think that made a tangible, genuine impact in their entire company. It's just too much, man. Like, and I think that like PvP and WoW, like retail PvP, and like really anything in the game, like there's just too many barriers to entry for an average person to get into it and to think that it's going to be anything less than a waste of time. That's really the truth. And I think that's really the problem too, is that the game feels like such a waste of time.
It's a brisk morning in Los Angeles. It couldn't be later than 8 a.m. when your Hummer pulls up to the recording studio. You step out, and your personal assistant and security ushers you past the cameras that shine like stars, and they glide you through the door. You're used to this now. In fact, you've been used to this for decades. That's how long you've been in the biz, how long you've been at this level. You're here to record some new backing tracks for your new album. You feel a bit tired, to be honest. It's been a long few weeks. People saying stuff about you online. It's got to be
Welcome to my channel.
Even at this level, that happens. Words still affect you. You're a consummate professional, though. You have to push it from your mind.
Hello, Mister. Hello. Good morning.
The sound technicians and producers from the other side of the double-layer glass give the thumbs up. The whole process only takes a couple of minutes. That's how good you are. A single take. You head into where all the producers are sitting and pop into one of those really comfortable leather lounges. Words of amazement fill your ears. Just the usual. A bunch of yes men telling you just how incredible that track was and how the fans are going to go crazy when they hear it. It's all just noise at this point. You're used to it. The endless compliments fade quickly and your attention fixates on the television in the studio. Someone's house is getting raided. The house. The books in the mirror. Someone is here and pain grips your heart. You fall to your knees. Why, Diddy? Why? Your name is Eminem, and this is correct. Welcome to this week's episode.
Another beautiful twist.
Oh, what a banger! Let's go, we're so back. That's the first time, and last time that Eminem was and I always think it's a pretty, well, true. I don't know what Eminem's up to these days, but that's a pretty faithful recreation of what probably happened the day Eminem found out about the stuff we're going to talk about today. And that is the P. Diddy stuff. Yes, that's right. Today we're tackling the mysterious cryptid known as P. Diddy. We're going to dive into
Suck my fucking cock.
Made against him. Joined with me today are renowned musician Charlie. He's in the industry. He knows all about this. We're getting a first-hand source. And
He suggested it.
He did suggest it.
I did suggest it.
And also P. Diddy superfan Isaiah. Who's got all the podcasts on
Hold on. You're funny. You're making fun of Charlie. Not now. Okay, I want to clarify. You know what? As a matter of fact, yes, it is. Huge P. Diddy fan. And if P. Diddy would like to direct any of his future lawsuits, Charlie, known hater of P. Diddy, is the one who suggested it. So I'm innocent. Well, actually,
that is actually true.
Growing up, I actually really liked P. Diddy's feature on Limp Bizkit for My Way, so that should absolve me.
I don't know anything about P. Diddy, really. You can sue me, and so can Eminem, really. They can both sue me. They can both join up.
He's a more prolific producer than he is a singer, but he's known by like everyone in the industry.
Yeah, for sure. And that's why I kind of thought the little introduction there was trying to give it away that it wasn't P. Diddy because he actually gets it. Like I wrote that he gets it and actually does stuff. So I thought that could give away this twist.
Oh, Jackson with the roast, calling him out.
So yeah, P. Diddy stuff today. Before we go on, hello to all of you listening to us on Spotify. Did you know that we love you very much? We do. And if you're not listening to us on audio platforms, that's either because you don't want to or because you didn't know that was an option, but it is. And you can find the links below to the Spotify and iTunes, stuff like that. And another note, you could also be reading about all of this juicy P. Diddy information as well. This show is kind of like an audiobook version of the research notes, more and more, so you can find the source in the description below. Speaking of sources, all of the information is sourced, so you can also fact check us. Do that, we love it. And a final note, a big thank you to the sponsors for this episode, Babbel and AG1, for supporting us. It does mean so much to us, and a huge thank you to them and our brand partners for it. You'll hear about them later on in the episode.
And also, hold on. As always, a special thank you to Jackson for telling us this information because he's great and we love him.
I don't know.
And also, all of this was their doing that for the lawsuit.
You're just covering your ass. It always starts with the popular.
Out of love. I'm covering it out of love. Thank you.
So for what it's worth, P. Diddy can't issue a lawsuit because he's currently on the run from authorities. So I actually Actually, if he issued us a lawsuit, we would be instrumental in getting him caught.
Is that actually confirmed that he's on the run?
I mean, he was for a while. Like, when his houses were raided, he fled, but I don't know if he's still currently on.
So the most recent source that I've had is where they say he's not on the run, and here he is. And stuff like that. So that's why I was asking.
Well, I mean, no, I was going to say that his lawyers aren't going to be like, yeah, he's trying to like engage you guys.
True, but also brings the police to kind of say, well, actually, no. I don't know. I feel like it's probably just easier for him to cooperate. But regardless, Charlie.
Yep.
You requested this topic. Do you want to speak as to your level of knowledge and awareness about this? Because it seems like something you're passionate about.
Yeah, so I'm loosely aware of a lot of the allegations. It's just there's so many that it's very hard for me to like keep up with all of them. But I know like the main ones with like the sex trafficking stuff, the stuff with like kids, the accusations around like the time he blew up a car, his potential involvement in a bunch of other bad things that happened behind the scenes. Like I remember early, like even years ago, people speculated P. Diddy might have had a hand in Tupac's murder. Like there's a lot. Like this is something that spans decades.
Yeah, he's a very like volatile figure in the industry, and a lot of people are now choosing this time to come out and talk about it in a big way, which is why you probably heard about it at home. But like some of these accusations go back to like the late 80s and early 90s, so it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Isaiah, how about you?
I knew about Diddy from like the music career, like you know his hobby to hip hop and stuff like that. He's worked with like every big artist from like the 90s to modern day. He put a lot of famous people on, so I knew about him from that. I actually didn't know about the more conspiratorial side of his career until the Eminem diss track, Kill Shot, where he mentions like it's his diss track against MGK, and he says, "Hell's the day you put out a hit, the day Diddy admits he put the hit out that Tupac killed." And I was like, wait, is there a conspiracy theory that Diddy killed Tupac? And sure enough, like, Diddy's in a lot of conspiracies, and he has a whole history of like, you know, acting up and stuff like that. So I had like a kind of passive interest in it because it was fun, but then this happened, and that's not fun.
Why would he have assassinated or like orchestrated the hit on Tupac?
Do you not have that in here?
No, I don't. It wasn't prominent in the lawsuits.
I guess it's not going to be in the recent stuff, but he was like a manager for Biggie, and they had a feud. So a lot of the theories revolve around like P. Diddy just getting rid of like his biggest competition to support Biggie.
So as Biggie's like manager, matters in his own hands.
Did Biggie die after Tupac? Because they both got killed like within half a year of each other.
Yeah, I can't remember who died first though. I'd have to double check.
Yeah, it was either the conspiracy was either. I mean, he didn't do it to be clear, but the conspiracy was either that Diddy killed Pac to elevate Biggie, or he killed Pac out of revenge.
Yeah, so Tupac was killed first.
Yeah. Okay. So to elevate.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because it was part of the whole. There's like this whole beef in the 90s between like East Coast and West Coast hip hop, and like Pac was one, Biggie was the other. So it was part of that whole thing. But yeah, like so that kicked it off, and then Diddy has years and years of controversy and stuff going down. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So again, it was all fun until you know the allegations we're going to talk about today, which are decidedly not fun, and I don't laugh at. So some of the memes on Twitter were funny, to be clear, but other than that.
Yeah, and again, like the Tupac stuff is like, I don't know if there's that much substance behind it in terms of like actual evidence. It seems like something that was just started as kind of like a rumor or like a dig against P. Diddy, and then it just kind of like believing it just because. That's what happened.
What evidence is that? So many years since I've heard of it. Well, I mean, this isn't the most pertinent to the most recent. But there is like quite a bit
this is like old hip hop conspiracy theory stuff. It shows that he's always had kind of like a history with it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like there is some level of evidence to corroborate some of the claims, and it could be authentic. But ultimately I don't think Diddy had a hand in it.
Yeah, it was something like Diddy had made like a threat or something like that. Yeah, someone to take care of him along that line. And then it was like the shooter was connected to a singer who Diddy knew, something like that. Yeah.
Well, they were all like kind of connected in terms of like agencies.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Diddy didn't do it, but again, his like history of like being involved in bad stuff goes way back.
To me, it just reminded me of one of those kinds of things like the Marilyn Manson rumor that he removed like his rib cage. Was it Marilyn Manson? I think it was. Yeah, Marilyn Manson removed the ribs so he could suck his own cock. Yeah, stuff like that. Like one of those rumors that just kind of like pass it around and it eventually just becomes true because most people are saying it's true. But regardless, maybe he did kill him, maybe he didn't. Who knows? That's not what we're here to discuss today. I will say, based on some of the behavior that's come out, I think there is a chance. Because I mean, you have a document here. I haven't read this document. Okay. So yeah, there is a chance. Like he is someone that would do that. Yeah, he's definitely, like I said, a very volatile individual. I wouldn't put killing someone past him necessarily from all the evidence of the other lawsuits. I was just asking about any evidence directly for the Tupac thing, which I didn't see. But definitely possible. I don't know. I didn't look into that because the other stuff that we're going to talk about today is far more recent and far more troubling, in my opinion. So, I mean, we've been talking about him for 15 minutes now, but who is P. Diddy? Yeah, I'll just go ahead and blast through this real quick. His real name is Sean Combs, also known as Puff Daddy. He was born on 4th November 1969 in Harlem. His father died when he was 3, leaving his mother Janice to relocate the family to Mount Vernon. Dropped out of college in his sophomore year and went on to become an intern at Uptown Records in 1990. Uptown Records was founded by Andre Harrell in 1986 and had artists such as Mary J. Blige, Heavy D and the Boys, Father MC, and more signed onto the label. It wasn't meant to be, however, as Diddy ended up being fired from Uptown Records in 1993, later saying he was very passionate and didn't understand protocol or workplace politics, so I got fired because there can't be 2 kings in one castle. He would, however, go on to say that being fired was the best thing that could ever happen to him, and quickly he learned to go on to create Bad Boy Records, accomplishing Notorious B.I.G. with extremely successful album, Ready to Die. In 1997, Diddy released the album No Way Out by Puff Daddy and the Family. This album included highly successful single I'll Be Missing You, which was recorded in memory of Notorious B.I.G. He has since released 4 albums, the most recent last year, under the names Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, and most recently just Diddy. His net worth is said to be around $1 billion, becoming hip-hop's 3rd billionaire and surpassing Kanye West on the wealthiest artist list in 2021. Say that, Kanye. Yeah, that's just the big reputation Diddy built up in the industry. Very successful. A lot more than just Notorious B.I.G. who was super successful under his label. He made quite a few superstars you're familiar with, but that's definitely probably his most successful client. It's probably the one that kind of like propelled him to that level as well. Like, for sure. Once he made Biggie big, like other artists would flock to that as well. Like it's probably the first big superstar that he created. And also that quote from Uptown Records when he was working there, I found that very interesting. He was very clearly always this way, like this, let's say passionate, even when he was just working at Uptown Records, before he had even created anything, he described himself as a king. So this attitude is and I don't know, it's kind of pervasive in the industry.
Welcome to my channel.
Like those executive levels where these people are so personality driven and obviously like so he is not a outlier in that regard. Alright, so now let's talk about why we're talking about P. Diddy today, and that is because of some recent lawsuits that have entered into the system, starting with one from Cassandra Ventura.
So on the 16th of November of 2023, Diddy's ex-Cassandra Ventura filed a lawsuit detailing a years-long series of abuse perpetuated. Ventura claims she was trapped in a cycle of sexual abuse, violence, and sex trafficking, listing the Diddy A. raped Mrs. Ventura in her home after she tried to leave him. B. Often punched, beat, kicked, and stomped on Miss Ventura, resulting in bruises, burst lips, black eyes, and bleeding. C. Blew up a man's car after he learned that he was romantically interested in Mrs. Ventura. D. Forced Mrs. Ventura to engage in sexual acts with male sex workers while masturbating and filming the encounters. Man, this is wild.
Let me just...
Moving here.
Yep. Uh-huh. Well, I would park this to the side. Don't mind me. Because of collateral damage.
My channel.
Oh, this one is done. Huh. Yeah, let's hope so. No bot.
Are you really?
Wait, this one quit. Nice. Nice. Fuck you. Thanks. Wow. What a crap. Yeah. Sure. GG.
Yes. Yeah, you can just leave. I had to leave my mask. I had no mask, so I had to leave anyway. I wouldn't have made it.
That sucks. Maybe one more. Wait, let me check something. So it's 68.
It gets wilder. It only gets worse, yeah.
Okay. F ran out of his apartment with a firearm in pursuit of a rival industry executive whom he learned was nearby.
Alright, never mind. He could have absolutely killed Tupac if he's doing shit like that. He's assassinating rival industry executives. Yeah, never mind.
Demanded that Miss Ventura carry his firearm in her purse just to make her uncomfortable and demonstrate how dangerous he is.
What a weird thing to do.
Carry this gun. Remind you
just
how
to
strong
make you
I am.
angsty. Yeah. Just
Does this make you feel upset, perhaps?
Yeah.
Don't you
So
feel
weird.
stupid? Don't you feel... Yeah, and then finally, introduced Miss Ventura to a lifestyle of excessive alcohol and substance abuse and required her to procure illicit prescriptions to satisfy his own addictions.
So just a long laundry list of just awful stuff that he has done to this woman over a long period of time.
Yeah.
Yep. So for what it's worth, I don't know if you clarified, but the car explosion was actually Kid Cudi being the victim. So Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway, and P Diddy is the one that's blamed for it.
Yeah. Yeah. I do go into it, but yeah, that did happen. It wasn't just like some random lover of Cassandra Ventura. It was like someone in the industry. This is how like clearly powerful P Diddy is, or how connected he is. Like he can actually do this to other powerful people and other like renowned people. Like his influence knows no limit.
All right. So continuing off of that. When Cassandra met Diddy back in 2005, she was only 19 years old and he was 37. She was an aspiring musician and he signed her up to his record label, Bad Boy Records, and within months, she had signed a 10-album deal.
Jesus, 10 albums? My God.
Man.
Wait, that sounds extraordinarily high.
Has she even released 10 albums by now?
I don't think you could. Like, that's hard. That's a lot of albums.
If you put out an album every 3 years, 30 years, no, she hasn't, yeah. I mean, maybe if you're like, if you've got other writers and stuff and you're putting out like a couple of years, sure, but...
Maybe.
Man, still, 10 albums.
Well, this could be like, obviously, a tool in his manipulation. Like, lock him down. Yeah, lock him down for life.
In August 2006, she released a self-titled album, with Diddy producing the
Welcome
album
to
and
my
also
channel.
featuring on one of her biggest songs, Me and You, released as a remix, also featuring Young.
That song was huge when I was growing up. That was a big song.
It was.
I'm a bit too young to remember it, but I think I've heard it before.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have.
Yeah. Cassie was in a relationship with producer Ryan Leslie from 2004 to 2007. It appeared from the start, however, that Diddy was interested in a relationship with Cassie. He started to push her away from Ryan and forced a divide between them. Diddy was in a long-term relationship with Kim Porter, which ended in 2007 due to her even while in his previous relationship, Diddy would apparently not allow Ryan to around, living with Cassie and forcing her to do drugs while she was in treatment. Cassie was young and impressionable. Diddy flaunted his wealth, showing his ability to chase after her and control her. Diddy had the ability to skyrocket Casey's Diddy recognized Cassie's naivete. According to the lawsuit, he quickly entrenched himself into every aspect of her life, manipulating and coercing Cassie into a romantic and sexual relationship. Despite her apparent initial disgust at the age gap between them, she stated that she originally would ward off Diddy's advances, but he persisted, demanding her time and company. She feared that rejecting him would harm her future career and album deal, so she eventually went along with his request.
So just the like age-old manipulation tactic that all of these like Hollywood producers and all these executives have used time and time again. It's like
you want to be famous, don't you?
Yeah, you want to be famous.
Just holding it over their head.
Just some awful stuff. The stuff that started the Me Too movement, obviously. Harvey Weinstein. Stuff like that, obviously. Just massive amounts of pervasive corruption that's kind of systemic in all those entertainment industries. And yeah, I'm not shocked at all that Diddy is one of them, the biggest proponents of it.
Yeah, people using their power to get sex. Yeah.
Not just sex, just like total control.
Like a soulful, servitude almost.
Yeah, just really awful shit.
In the lawsuit, she recounted a night in September of 2007 when Diddy wanted to take her out on a date. Upon his arrival at her apartment, he was already heavily intoxicated. He insisted she take a pill he handed her, and when she asked what it was, he assured her she would enjoy it. Later, she discovered it was ecstasy. She had never tried it before and had not wanted to. This night was her first experience with drugs. Diddy behaved recklessly and in an agitated manner throughout the night. Eventually, Casey decided to leave, prompting Diddy to repeatedly message her throughout the night, accusing her of leaving him high and alone.
Imagine getting those kinds of messages and these actions from what is ostensibly your boss.
Because he is. Yeah. He's fucking. He's a boss. Come back, frowny face.
Yeah.
I'm all alone.
You're just gonna leave me like this? I'm scared.
I'm high and I don't want to be alone. Why have you never messaged me like that,
The
Charlie?
phrase of that did seem kind of juvenile, accusing her of leaving him high and alone. Like,
I'll start sending you those text messages, Jackson, when I'm out, like in a bar. It's like, Jackson, I'm so lonely. Where are you?
why didn't you come? Why aren't you here? Where's my hug?
Yeah, where's my hug?
In 2000, which I will mention, the mention, it was a little fun. It's not funny, but it's a little funny that someone whose whole mantra is like as a big, tough and rumble rapper, part of the lawsuit is that he had a cuck fetish, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's how that always goes, right? Like, I feel like we see that a lot with like these perceived powerful people, like strong guys. It's always like, well, you actually really like to watch me fuck other dudes in front of him. It happens all the time.
oh yeah, you think you're tough? You think you can take my girl? I bet you'd like to. Why don't you do it right now? Go. And there she is.
You think you're so tough, huh? Why don't you fuck my girl? Huh? You think you're such a fucking tough guy, huh?
Yeah, what is with these freaks?
Yeah, P. Diddy, why are you naked? why are you touching yourself when you say that? Oh, you degenerate! What are you doing in my house? Taking off his pants? Oh, you're here to fuck my girl, aren't you? That's what you're here for, huh? You think you're so big and strong, huh? We'll do it. We'll do it.
Yeah, someone breaks in the night, he's like undoing his belt. What's the meaning of all this, huh? What, you think you can take me? Why don't you try it? Why don't you come over here and kiss me on my mouth, huh? Why don't you?
What kind of tomfoolery's happening here in this house, huh?
Oh gosh. Okay. In 2007, there was another instance where Diddy paid a promoter to create a fake flyer for a party supposedly hosted by Casey. This provided her with an excuse to travel to Miami and away from her boyfriend. Casey was unnerved by Diddy's ability to manipulate others into line for him, and she felt extremely uncomfortable with the entire situation. This guy had a fake flyer to have her fly down. This is the most like high school,
elaborate shit,
like,
just so he wouldn't feel lonely.
Yeah, exactly. What?
He had a whole fucking like production studio, like graphic artists coming up with like the best flyer ever that would entice it. What if she took a look at it and she's like, nah, I don't want to go. Then all this effort was for nothing.
Sends more flyers, like what?
Yeah.
Despite her apprehension, she was afraid to refuse and reluctantly went along with the fabricated event, joining Diddy in Florida. Throughout the trip, Diddy supplied Casey with abundant amounts of drugs, leaving her intoxicated for the duration. Once again, she felt unable to decline. Additionally, they engaged in sexual intercourse during this trip. Casey had said that Diddy's demanding and forceful personality made it difficult for anyone to challenge him. He frequently flaunted his wealth, making ostentatious, that's a good word, Jackson, displays by paying for items with large sums of cash and reassuring Casey with statements like, "Don't worry about money, I have money." Throughout their relationship, he planned extravagant vacations, gave her a car, paid for her apartment situated just minutes away from his own, and showered her with luxurious designer clothing. Casey alleges that Diddy or his management controlled every aspect of her life. He introduced her to a lifestyle permeated by drug use, which contributed to her compliance. He insisted that she refer to him as Pop Pop, a term she called her grandfather.
Fucking
Ew.
disgusting.
Ew. Gross.
Oh, yuck.
The home intruder breaks in. What, you think I'm like your dad, huh? What am I, like your dad, your grandpa? Why don't you call me that? Call me
Call me
dad.
Pop Pop right now. I'm Pop Pop now. Doesn't this make the whole Puff Daddy and shit like that names like really bad? Yeah. No, it's gross.
I mean, it was always the word Puff Daddy. It's always a little
awful. That was always kind of. Yeah, that was pretty
That was always
bad
a bit
even
strange,
back in the
yeah.
day. Yeah, it's always been gross.
Diddy would have his personal staff accompany Casey during all of her day-to-day activities, and even some of her medical records sent to his email address. The example listed in the lawsuit is from when Casey suffered memory loss, possibly due to injuries from abuse and/or drug abuse. When she had an MRI, her results were sent to Diddy and not her. Diddy also made Casey get prescriptions from his doctor in her name for medication that he was addicted to when he exhausted his own supply of pills.
God, that's
This
so.
guy like Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
like
that's
getting older.
fucking just constant drug.
And all,
Yeah.
wait, how many drugs do you have to go through where you've got to get like someone else's prescription? Is that super common?
Well, if you're a big addict, yeah, absolutely.
But he's not. Surely an addict wouldn't be giving his supply away to everyone, like passing out pills like they're candy.
No, Diddy's using up his whole prescription, so he gets her to get a prescription so he can use that too.
Yeah, man.
He's taking the dose for 2 people, basically.
That whole, well, yeah, but also he's like literally supplying it to everyone. She was constantly on drugs, and so were like most of the people around him all the time. Like I said before, he was using it as a means of control, basically. Like if they were on drugs or addicted to the drugs, they were more obedient. It's almost like he created a pseudo like drug empire in the background that operated alongside his like media, empire.
Yeah, but it's like the lame part of a drug empire where you don't make money. You're just a junkie.
Yeah, he's not there for money.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that
like
he was so afraid of being lonely that he wanted to entice people in with the drugs. Maybe that's why people would only come around just for the drugs, and it was just a way.
Perhaps
of
you're right.
avoiding
Maybe he was just lonely. Maybe this will turn around for him. Maybe he'll.
I mean, being lonely doesn't
there'll be a
excuse the
redemption
shit that he did.
No, I think I hear what you're saying. You're saying that really he was a product of his environment and that we should give him a second chance. That's what
sympathy for
Jackson
Diddy.
says.
That's what I'm saying. How fucked up is it that he got her medical records sent to his email address? That is such a like over the top form.
Well,
of
he's
control.
qualified to analyze those, so he's just looking out for her. He's a radiologist actually as well.
Hello, doctor. This is her obstetrician, Dr. Puff Daddy. And,
Dr. Diddy, please.
Dr. Diddy. Diddy would often show spouts of incredibly violent fits of rage, apparently beating Casey multiple times each year, leaving bruises all over her body. He would go to extensive lengths to hide evidence of this, like having Casey hide away in hotels for days while she healed. She recalls after one particular party in which Jay-Z was named as being in attendance, that Diddy kicked and hit her and forced her out of a vehicle on 5th Avenue in New York City. She got a cab to take her to her apartment, but was so traumatized and afraid of Diddy that she had the realization that she could never tell anyone due to how influential he was in the music industry. Man.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Not funny anymore.
That also shows a sign of like, I guess power, but more so arrogance and power. Because like 5th Avenue is like, you know, the ritzy
Very
part of
busy,
New York.
yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. There's witnesses everywhere. That you could just get away with stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's how comfortable he was with the. I mean, it speaks to a behavior set that he had been doing for a long time, even before this. If he was that comfortable with, and he knew that he could get away with it, then yeah.
Throughout this time, he maintained his dominance and instilled a sense of fear in her, compelling Casey to carry his gun in her purse. She lacked familiarity with firearms and was apprehensive about them, fearing that the gun could accidentally discharge while in her possession. Which that happens all the time when you give guns to people who don't know, what to do with them.
It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird that he would give a gun to the person he's beating. Like, here's the way to defend yourself.
That's almost like another statement of power, right? Like you won't do anything about it.
He's just confident that she wouldn't do anything to hurt him because he has the control over him or over her.
Another incident recounted in the lawsuit describes a situation where Diddy discovered that Casey had a conversation with another music producer at a party in Los Angeles in 2009. Casey wanted to discuss her career with the producer. In response, Diddy abruptly removed Casey from the party and departed in a car. Allegedly, Diddy forcibly pushed her into a corner of the car and proceeds to, quote, stomp on her face. Despite the presence of Diddy's security team, the situation escalated beyond their control, which showed her just how loyal his network was.
I doubt the security team even like tried to stop it, right?
No, they definitely didn't.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
those
fight back
cowards.
against their boss.
Yeah, well, they should.
Watching a man like pound a girl's head into the floor of a car, man, that's like an attempted murder.
I mean, it is, yeah.
Well, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Straight up is. Awful. Again, this is how comfortable he was with this shit. We keep talking about Cassie, but she was a big star at the time, right? She was also like an influential.
Yeah, she had a hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So she was. It wasn't like he was doing this to like some random person that would have had a very hard time getting this news out about him. He was that comfortable with doing this kind of stuff that he was doing it to people that were big in the industry as well. That's crazy.
He was doing it to other celebrities.
It's kind of like the time Chris Brown and Rihanna, that whole situation where Chris Brown was comfortable enough to beat up Rihanna, but Rihanna obviously made all of that public immediately, right?
Yeah, and then Chris Brown is still a beloved celebrity to this day, even though he still has a history of beating other women too.
You just made me mad.
Yeah, I actually fucking hate Chris Brown. But you know who I hate almost as much as Chris Brown is his fucking fans that defend it.
I don't know
how
you
to get on a tangent.
Wait, people defend it? I thought they just ignore it.
Yeah.
How did they defend
No,
it?
if you bring up Chris Brown on Twitter right now and bring up his past, you immediately get dogpiled by a legion of his army that's just like, who gives a fuck? That was 10 years ago. He's so much better now. Even though he like beat a woman a few years back too.
It's on video. It's all on video. It's not even debatable.
Charlie, can't you just learn to forgive and forget? Let bygones be bygones.
I know. You really should just move on from it. Beat Rihanna within an inch of her life. Like, come on. It was so long ago.
So caught up
Who
on the
cares?
past, yeah.
Just listen to the music and enjoy it. Bye.
Yeah. Hey, live in the pod, eat the bug, man. If it makes you feel good, do it. His music makes me feel good. So what? So let him beat a few girls, right? Like,
yeah, it's how he powers up. It's why he's good at the music, Charlie.
you know, it's like. Have you heard the Steve Harvey joke about Michael Vick?
No. Steve Harvey beat up Michael Vick.
Yeah, he was talking about Michael Vick, and he was like, yeah, you know what? He did some wrong, but that guy had, record passes, touchdowns. You know what I say? Let a man kill a few dogs.
What the fuck? Steve Harvey said that?
Wait, that's not at all surprising.
Well, the joke is that how absurd it is to step over, what they did. But yeah, it's like the same with like the Chris Brown thing. Let a man kill a few dogs.
I can't believe Steve Harvey of all people.
I swear it was Steve Harvey, unless I'm really misremembering. Yeah.
I could absolutely imagine Steve Harvey's not a good person either.
Well, he's not a good person, but he's also still like a squeaky clean person for the most part. He's
Oh,
fucking
no.
Family Feud guy.
No. Have you seen his adult shows he used to do back in the day? Bro, he would they were good. They were hilarious. But like when he do like around Kings of Comedy stuff like that, he would have some vulgar stuff. All funny, but like he's done adult humor before.
I have no idea. No, I only know him as like the squeaky clean Family Feud guy.
What I recommend to you and everyone is to look up his bit about like the Iraq invasion right after it happened, where he's like, "Put me over there. I'm gonna start killing kids. I'm gonna start mowing them down." He said they're gonna have me on the first plane back. I see a kid. Bam.
You're hired
I
on
see a
Family
pregnant
Feud
woman.
right
That's
now.
2 for 1. Bam, bam. Like,
Was that all a quote? He said all that?
Yes, yeah. He goes on about like, I'm gonna gun down everyone. They're gonna throw me back so fast.
Was this his like opening monologue on Family Feud? What the fuck?
Yeah, imagine.
With like a family of veterans.
This awful shit.
No, the whole bit for that joke is he's like, we need to get our boys home, and I think the fastest way we get them home is war crimes. So like we got to start doing them. Like it's funny.
Lunatic.
Yeah, no, Steve Harvey's funny.
All right, wait, before we move on, just a quick word from the sponsors that make this show possible. Babbel. It's a beautiful word. I really do love that word. It's also a beautiful sponsor who wants to bring you the ability to say many more beautiful words that you might not yet know. Babbel is legitimately the best way to learn a language. It's a science-backed app that immerses you in the language you want to learn, or maybe the language you need to learn for your next holiday, for example. It can be super intimidating traveling to a country without any kind of understanding of the basics of that country's language, and Babbel is perfect for that. They can give you the foundational knowledge you need to know to be able to comfortably communicate with people in that country, which is super important. I've been brushing up on some French for when I visit France in the future, and I can now introduce myself. For example, if you were in France and you wanted to come up to me, I would simply say, "Je m'appelle Jackson," and you'd immediately know I'm Jackson. It's crazy how that works. Language is wild. And what's also super great is their speech recognition technology that assists you in kind of forming your pronunciation to that country's like specific pronunciation. So it's like a skill check basically. Like you practice using their speech recognition technology, and it'll kind of guide you on the way to correct pronunciation, which is obviously super important. I personally use Babbel, and I can say for sure it works super well, and that makes sense because like there's a lot of reports and studies from like places like Yale and other big boy universities that have found that using Babbel for 15 hours is the equivalent to a full semester at college. So that why would you waste tens of thousands of dollars and go into debt to learn a language at college if you're going to do that, when you could just use Babbel? And here's a limited time deal for you guys specifically. Right now, get up to 60% off your Babbel subscription, only for you guys, at babbel.com/redthread. 60% is an absolutely insane deal off your Babbel subscription, and it's already like super affordable. So get up to 60% off at babbel.com/redthread. That's babbel.com/redthread. Rules and restrictions may apply. Big thanks to Babbel for sponsoring this episode, and thank you to all of you out there for checking them out and learning a new language. It's a great thing to do for yourself. I believe in all of you on your new language adventures. If you see me in France, you know, come up to me and introduce yourself, say Je m'appelle and then your name, and then we'll both know what our names are, and that'll be great. So yeah, thank you Babbel, and now over to me again. It's me again, and I've got a bit of a relatable story perhaps. I've been feeling super tired and sluggish lately. I think probably due to bad sleep, just from making these shows late at night. It's like 3 a.m. here at the moment, and we usually record at 3 a.m. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Part of it is also due to poor nutrition, or not taking my nutrition as seriously as I should. And I think a lot of people are probably in that same boat. It's just like so much easier to just push that kind of thing from your mind and not think about it. Kind of just live life on autopilot and not take that kind of stuff seriously. It's the same for me. It was the same for me anyway. But I gave AG1 a try because I was really starting to, like, ironically enough, get tired or feeling tired. And since drinking AG1 daily, I feel like I have way more energy and I'm not so run down all the time. And that's because AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that supports your body's universal needs like gut optimization, stress management, and immune support. Gut optimization makes me think of video games. That's pretty cool. Make sure you've got the correct gut build to tackle the next raid boss. Since 2010, AG1 has led the future of foundational nutrition, continuously refining their formula to create a smarter, better way to elevate your baseline health. I used to take multivitamins, like tablets and stuff, but when I was looking into it, I noticed AG1 includes things like rhodiola and B vitamins for energy support, in addition to all the other stuff that is usually found in multivitamins anyway, like vitamin C and zinc to support your immune health, and magnesium for stress support. So really, AG1 jumped out to me as a super convenient, all-inclusive way to get those kinds of things in my body very quickly. Plus, this is embarrassing to admit, I've admitted it before on the show, but I'll admit it again. I can't swallow tablets for some reason. Like my throat just won't accept that format. I don't know why. It's just a mental hang-up. I can't
Welcome to my
tablets
channel.
well. I usually have to chew them, which is just an awful experience, obviously. So AG1's drink is a lifesaver for me. It's made the process way easier for myself and my throat. I just get up in the morning, put a scoop of AG1 in some water, chug it down, and I can move on with my life without spending 15 minutes trying to swallow a pill that just won't go down. And really, that's what I want from my daily vitamin routine, just quick and easy. So if there's one product I would recommend to elevate your health, it's AG1. If you want to take ownership of your health, it starts with AG1. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at drinkag1.com/redthreadpod. That's drinkag1.com/redthreadpod. So go check it out, and thank you to AG1 for sponsoring the episode and helping my throat. And thank you to everyone in the audience for hearing the sponsors out. It really does mean so much to us. Please go check them out if they at all sound interesting. It really does help the show out when you do that. Thank you to those sponsors, and now let's continue on with P. Diddy's allegations.
Casey attempted to flee when the car arrived at Diddy's residence, but he pursued her and resumed his physical assault by kicking her. Entering his home, Casey began vomiting, and the physical evidence of the abuse became apparent. Recognizing the severity of the situation, Diddy had his staff escort her to the London Hotel in Los Angeles, where she remained for several days. During this time, she concealed the truth about the abuse from her parents. After that night, Diddy arranged for his assistant to purchase gifts for Casey and then they went to her hotel room.
What do they call that when abusers do that kind of stuff, where they abuse and then they like love bomb you? I think it's love bombing.
Yeah. Cycle of abuse,
Yeah, it's a cycle of abuse. Very, very common.
Casey alleged that Diddy told her that he wanted to act out his fantasy voyeurism and that it would turn him on. Oh boy.
Quote. That's a quote.
He then proceeded to hire a man and brought him back to his home where Casey wore masquerade masks and did drugs. Diddy instructed Casey what to do and perform various sexual acts with this man, all while he watched. This specific encounter lasted days and became a frequent request.
Wait, what the fuck? I'm just connecting this right now, like making this unreal. Imagine how fucking crazy that would be to be hired by P. Diddy to fuck a superstar, Cassie, what's her name? Cassandra.
Yeah.
Cassandra Ventura. Yeah, like a superstar at the time, basically. Like, how mindfuck would you be? Where did he find this guy?
No, so like in high societies, there's like agencies for that kind of thing, and they're all super sworn to secrecy.
Oh, are they actually?
Yeah, I think that's a real
They
thing.
sign NDAs. They'll perform acts. They'll show up. They'll leave. A bunch of celebrities do it. Cause you know, like, think about it this way: if you're someone like me, right, and you want to hook up with someone else, your two options are it's another celebrity who has equal skin in the game, or someone that has to like sign an NDA after it happens. Because like, if you just do it with like an average Joe, and then they go talking about it, that could ruin your career, that could ruin record deals, that could ruin image, stuff like that. So, yeah, most of the time, like, they'll go through these like in-the-know agencies to make it happen.
Yeah, but they don't usually use it to cuck each other, right?
Oh, I'm sure there's so many fucking cucks at that level.
Yeah. If Dan Schneider was just a little bit he could he flew a bit. There's the whole philosophy of like staying out of trouble. So once you're in the noise of it, you probably won't get caught.
Shit.
If you're beneath the cloud or above the cloud, you get caught. So Dan Schneider, too stupid, below the cloud. He did it too evil, above the cloud.
And then there's all the other cucks currently doing that's
just in the cloud, in the cuck cloud, just doing whatever it is they do in there.
We need to dispel these clouds so we can see them for who they are.
And we can see them all jacking off, watching each other.
They probably want that though. God damn it, the cucks want to be
You're
seen.
right. Oh no, put them back in the cloud.
They can't lose. They win at every angle.
No, take it.
They beat us again.
No.
No, unironically, what it is with a lot of these guys who do like the cuck stuff is because there's one element of it that's shame. The other side of it is that they want to degrade women, right? And in this situation, Diddy almost feels like he's made her into cattle, right?
Oh.
That he can parade her out and have her just sexually degenerated, and it's all his due. He owns her to this degree. Like, it's all about degradation.
Right, so it's not his humiliation as much as it is hers then. He gets off on that.
Yeah.
Ah. I didn't consider that element of cuckery.
Yeah, well that's what, so there's a lot of like serial killers and stuff like that, or like serial rapists who will get arrested and they're into this kind of thing, like watching other people have sex, and that tends to be like the more vicious idea of it. Like sure, there's guys who just like want to feel pathetic, so they like to be degraded and see their wife like hook up with another man, right? But then there's the other side of it where you're making her do something against her will. You're forcing her to do it.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. Well, this is a pretty icky story. Yeah. Specific. Casey was expected to find locations and hire male sex workers when Diddy wanted. To the lawsuit, she was held to quote, large black penises.
Wait. Oh, there was I didn't write this down. There was another anecdote that my girlfriend told me when she was researching it. I hope she was researching it. She was telling me about how he would make her wear, like, paint her nails white so that they would, like, juxtapose in front of the black penises as well. Like, he was very specific about that. I remember, like, she had to wear white fingernails or paint her
Are we
fingernails
sure
white.
Diddy wasn't like a middle-aged white man? That's what it
so
sounds
weird.
like. Yeah. That's 3 words I never thought I would say on this podcast or any
Large
podcast.
black
So congratulations.
penises.
Yeah, large black penises.
I hope your church pastor isn't listening to this episode.
Yeah, man, I hope we scared him off by now. My good lord. I'm so sorry. To everyone who goes to church with me who's here, I'm sorry. Don't look at me Sunday. The situations being frequent, sometimes weekly. He would become so intoxicated and belligerent during these situations and would allegedly also beat Casey in front of the sex workers.
Well, it got less funny immediately, like in terms of going from large black penises to just sad shit again.
The lawsuit lists multiple locations where this, what Diddy referred to as our secret to Casey, what happened, including Trump International Hotel, the London Hotel, the Intercontinental Hotels, and more. Man. Hotel suites would be decked out with baby oil and Astroglide, and Diddy would provide Casey and the sex worker with seemingly endless supply of drugs, including ecstasy, cocaine, GHB, ketamine, weed, and alcohol.
What's GHB?
I have no idea. I don't know what that stands for.
It's a nervous system depressant. It produces feelings of euphoria, relaxation, sociability, blah, blah, blah. It's similar. I mean, obviously it's much, much stronger. I don't know what for. I think it comes in a powder, if I remember right, but I think you can take it different ways. Like, I'm pretty sure you can inject it, if I remember right.
So he basically, he was like the fucking Willy
It
Wonka
basically
of
makes you get super loose and like out of it. Kind of think like heavy alcohol.
Okay.
Anyway, Casey states that this amount of drugs helped her to disassociate during these events. Diddy would film these encounters, and even when Casey deleted the videos, Diddy would claim that he had backups.
So using it for blackmail, probably, like hoarding these
Oh
videos
yeah,
as blackmail.
absolutely. What are you gonna do? Go to someone else and I release like hours of you hooking up with other men?
Yeah. Good.
I'm gonna edit out the noise of me furiously going at it in the corner, but that's can't embarrass my reputation. It was a recurring pattern where she felt unable to say no, understanding that it would trigger anger and abuse. If she dared to say no, he would get his security team to corner her and depart with him, as occurred during her 29th birthday surprise dinner. Casey tried to escape Diddy multiple times, but he utilized his staff and networks to lure her back in. During a brief breakup, Casey actually dated musician Kid Cudi. Diddy was irate as he had found her phone and saw emails between her and Kid Cudi. He apparently had a manual corkscrew in his hand and charged towards Casey in an attack. In a panic, Casey escaped to Kid Cudi's home. I will mention the reason I stopped is because I thought it read as he did a corkscrew. Like Diddy started spinning at her.
He just pulls out a skateboard and does a fucking awesome trick. That's how happy he is to be cucked by Kid Cudi.
Oh yeah!
Oh, why
Radical.
iota? And he just jumps and contorts in the air.
Yeah, he's like the Tasmanian devil. In a panic, Casey escaped to Kid Cudi's home. She returned to Diddy, however, as she felt as though she had no choice when Diddy would ask to just talk to her. Diddy was still enraged and hit her multiple times. Casey says that he threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car. Around this time, Kid Cudi's car did explode in his driveway, and Cudi has since come out and confirmed her version of these events.
It's probably just a coincidence, right?
Yeah, just faulty wiring somewhere.
Yeah. I hate it when the brakes do that. Cars, you know, can't trust them.
They just explode sometimes when you're in the industry. And you're
It's a darn shame.
And you're fucking Diddy's girlfriend. It just sometimes
Comes with the price of fame, I guess.
Yeah.
Casey says she was stuck in a cycle of abuse, trying to run away, being trapped, apologizing, and coming back. It was a rotation of bruises, black eyes, busted lips, and heavy amounts of makeup. She believes that Diddy paid Intercontinental Century City $50,000 for hallway security footage that showed him beating and throwing glass at her.
Man, if that's fucking true, if that is true and they have proof to back that up, that Intercontinental Century City is complicit in hiding evidence of domestic abuse, fuck whoever accepted
Yeah,
that
it
offer
had
at
to
that
be a
hotel.
manager or something, right? Because it's not like 50,000 is a bribe to the whole organization. or
brand.
anything.
Yeah, it'd be nothing. It'd go to an individual, so they need to find the individual.
Yeah, because he's culpable.
Yeah, absolutely culpable.
In the last year of their relationship, Casey knew she needed to leave and tried to avoid him. They arranged a dinner in 2018 where she thought they would be discussing their official separation. However, instead they returned to her apartment after the dinner and he forced his way in and onto her. She repeatedly asked him to stop and attempted to push him away. She was sexually assaulted and this left her traumatized and says she continues to suffer emotional distress. In this explosive lawsuit, Casey asked for money for compensatory damages, including lost wages, earnings, etc., with interest, and for the mental pain and anguish and severe emotional distress she was put through, plus other legal fees. Just one day after the lawsuit was brought against Diddy, they settled outside of court. The terms of this were not disclosed, and Diddy's attorney in a statement made it clear that this was not an admission of wrongdoing. Cassandra's statement in this says, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." And Diddy's statement says, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Casey and her family all the best. Love."
Weird statement, but okay. Yeah, overall, so that's Cassandra's lawsuit and her version of the events and allegations and stuff. I mean, it's so detailed and it goes in line with a lot of other allegations that have been made about P. Diddy and other situations that have come up surrounding P. Diddy. And again, like the stuff like Kid Cudi coming out and confirming that his car was exploded by Diddy. There's obviously some level of truth to these events. So even though they have settled outside of court, which I guess is her decision ultimately, so that's fine, but like it doesn't undo everything that was done. And in my opinion, this seems like a pretty accurate portrayal of the events. Do you guys kind of agree?
Yeah, I've said this a bunch, but I think that he is guilty of everything he is accused of. Like every single claim right now, except for like the Tupac one. I think that one, there's not enough evidence there, but all of this kind of shit, absolutely. I think he is 100% guilty.
I mean, it's like, if it was one person who showed up out of the blue and there were other witnesses who said like, oh, well, she seemed happy during the relationship, maybe it's just for money. But the fact that it is one of many, many claims, everyone who knew them during this like 20-year span of time attested to like this behavior, that Diddy would do weird stuff like this, that he was weird around women. Like there's too many people who support this narrative for it to be just a complete fabrication from this one girl.
Plus it's so
Allegedly.
detailed. It's such a detailed recount of like 20 years of abuse. Like there's so many specific situations that she recounts that again other people can back up as well, that it seems pretty airtight to me in terms of validity. And also so just some good news, she's now married and seems like in a pretty happy, healthy relationship, though I guess you can never really tell with, especially with Hollywood relationships. And she has a child, I think 2 children now, so it does seem like quite a step up from P. Diddy, which is good.
That is good.
Just wanted to put a little bit of positivity out there after that.
After all that not positivity, after all the very bad,
This next allegation is from a woman named Liza Gardner. On November 24th of 2023, another lawsuit was filed against Diddy and singer Aaron Hall. So it was a suit against 2 people by Liza Gardner for battery, sexual assault, and negligent infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit was filed within the time frame of the Adult Survivors Act and details an event that happened in 1990. Basically what happened was Liza and her friend were invited to New York City by a few close friends of theirs who were members of a chart-topping recording group signed to MCA Records, which Diddy was a part of. Liza was from North Carolina at the time. She recounts that they met up with Diddy and Aaron at the offices of MCA Records where an event was being held at the time. Diddy and Aaron were very flirtatious and offered rounds of drinks all throughout the night. So remember, this is in 1990, so this is a long time ago by this point. He would have been, I think Diddy would have been fairly early in his career at this point, right? This was before, yeah, it was before everything, like in the late 90s, that kind of propelled him to where he is now. Diddy and Aaron extended an invitation to Liza and her friend to join them at Aaron's apartment for an after party. There, Liza alleges that she was offered additional drinks and coerced into engaging in sexual activity with Diddy. Following the assault, Aaron allegedly barged into the room and proceeded to assault her as well. After the ordeal, Liza hastily dressed and fled the apartment with her friend following closely behind. And when they were speaking to each other afterwards, they kind of recounted their experiences and a lot lined up, suggesting that both women had been exchanged between both Aaron and Diddy. Days later, Diddy turned up to where Liza and her friend were staying, and he acted in a Diddy-esque irate manner, something we've come to know and kind of experience over the next 30 years as being pretty common with Diddy. He began to choke Liza to the point where she passed out, and he was also searching for her friend out of worry that she would alert the authorities about what had happened. This lawsuit goes into just really disturbing details, like apparently Aaron Hall had bragged about engaging in sexual activity with minors as well. Like there's information in the lawsuit about that specifically, and confirmed that Diddy was sometimes in the room when this was happening, so he was at least complicit to the conversations about some really disgusting stuff happening with minors. Liza Gardner is demanding a trial by jury and is looking for monetary and or economic damages, including loss of income, wages, compensation, and more. So just another example of the systemic rot in the music industry, more so as well, because it's not just Diddy. This is also another person, Aaron Hall, and they're just so comfortable doing it all together, it seems. If the allegations are true, I should say they're allegations. But like they're clearly so, there's people entrenched in the music industry that feel so comfortable doing this that they do it together. It's like so pervasive and gross.
So
oh, thanks, fellas.
Is that she was 16 at the time. The supervisor Gardner was 16. Even more abhorrent than you could possibly imagine. So he is also, like, throughout this story, doing all this with someone underage.
Yeah, if she was underage, then he wasn't just bragging about engaging in sexual activity with minors. They had actively done that with this person that's making the accusations. So that definitely steps it up in terms of the severity of it.
Yeah, I double checked it. Yeah, according to NBC, the amended complaint filed by Gardner on Tuesday, which was like a week ago, obtained by NBC, said she was 16 at the time, thus too young to drink alcohol.
So that's in the amended lawsuit? Maybe that's why I didn't see.
Yeah, this is that might be why it's not there. Because I remember seeing that headline. And the fact that it wasn't, I just thought it was important. So yeah, maybe you just missed it. Pretty good.
Alright, so Charlie, you can take the next one.
Sure. This next one is Dixon Neal versus Combs on the 23rd of November 2003. A lawsuit filed against Diddy, Bad Boy Entertainment, and Combs Enterprise LLC by Joy Dickinson Neal for suffering as a result of being drugged, sexually assaulted, and abused, and being the victim of revenge porn. The lawsuit was filed within the time frame of the New York Adult Survivors Act. And the Gardners, Joy was a student at Syracuse University studying psychology. She wanted to make a step in the music industry towards high jobs in industries such as a receptionist at a renowned talent agency and as a musician scout. They met and he made several advances on Joy. Heard that he had a reputation of treating women badly every time.
No, продолжим.
Yeah, and this is 1990. Yeah, before he
Как кажешь, все рыпаю, а?
January 1991, she
Кажешь, все рыпаю. Mislim, kako ko? Jebi ga, ja radim drugu smenu. Ja vam ne mogu pomoći. Ako mislite da baš rpam, mislim imam izbora da dam otkaz i da nađem posao koji se radi samo u jednoj smeni, ali uvijek ima nešto, teško je naći, ili ćeš naći posao recimo koji radiš samo jednu smenu koji je neplaćen recimo, ili su uslovi sranje, ili nećeš imati slobodno vremena, radit ćeš subotu. Ovaj posao nije toliko loš, samo što ponekad, kažem ti, smene te preklope malo bez veze, ali ono kao okej, nema se. Kako si ti?
Ja, dobro, već.
Još uvijek si na godišnjem odmoru?
Ne radim.
Pa... Godišnji odmor.
Godišnji odmor, a bukvalno.
Jeste, ali ne plaćen. Dobro. Mislim, plaćaš ga ti.
Da.
Iz tvog budžeta.
Tako što trošim pare, a ne dobijem.
Jeste, ne radiš. A nema veze. Ti financiraš sam sebi ovaj odmor.
Ma ne tražim ništa, već odmora trenutno, ne znam i sam šta ću, znaš.
Yes. Muziku? Si slušao muziku?
Kako me uhvatio grč jutros, jao, znaš ono kad stavijem nogu kako i organa i vrate, znaš kakav osjećaj, ja sam plako vrate, jao.
Pa ništa, legneš na pot, to sve uradio, pred 2 jutra, 3.
Da. Ili ima nešto novo u tom kodu?
Ima nekakva snajperska puška koja ispalje granate.
Jo, majko.
Ne, gledaj. Ovo je snajper, inače. Kad pukneš kao topovski udare.
Ovo je snajper?
Da, ovo je snajper, on je... Da, ima ogromnu optiku, razumiješ. Ovo je snajper, gledaj. Ali radi splash damage.
Ko Crysis jebote oružje.
Teško je zbog kamuflaže vidjeti, ali tačno sam znao da je nekakva elektromagnetna puška.
Welcome to my channel.
I to je to. Najgluplja stvar od svega je što ovo radi lepo. To radiš. Ovo. Pitao sam ljude u chatu da li ima neka fora da isključiš dim.
To izgleda ko dim je, to smog da pucaš je potpuno život.
Ovo reći. Čak i u tier 3 zoni sa level 1 puškom. Ne ubije ih, ali sve ih nokuje. I samo prolaziš bez njih.
Genijalno.
Barš. Halo. A za ove plaćenike? Ono i ne nišaniš, samo negdje u generalnom pravcu poda pucaš. Ne tako, i mrtvi su. A možeš i u glavu, ali... Velik overkill. Da, ima scope, čini mi se puta 10, puta 20, neki ogromni zoom, razumeš ima. A ako napraviš u multiplayer, a nisam ti pokazao to što nisam otičao. Ako napraviš u multiplayeru 100 killova, ono one shot kill, dobiješ kao barrel, kao cev, i onda kao... Ako si gledao one filmove, one kao da imaš one obrzivače čestica, da ti je ono kao fora, projektil ti u suštini nije metak, nego ti je komad aluminijuma. I ono, ima charge time i kad se ono napuni, ono ispali ga, ono hipersonično, ono kao... Mali projektil, velika brzina, znaš, to ti je fora. Imaš takav neki upgrade, ali treba ti 100... To sam poslije provalio, da je treba 100 killova u multiplayer. Everybody chill. Wow. Such a engaging gameplay. Daj se pa vidim da idem, jel da? Who am I, where am I? I to je to. Možda su igrači krivi, znaš, nisam siguran. Možda nisu developeri krivi što su igrači nenormalni. Možda jednostavno niko nije testirao, razumiješ, kako nešto radi. A mislim da me čudilo. Zato što nisam teo da isključimo zvuk, što mi se slušam trrrr, trrrr, trrrr.
Pustiš muziku, no?
A, pusti muziku kad ne pričam s tobom, nisam ja nenormalno.
Dobro, neku tihu.
Ma ni tiho, gledao sam dokumentarac. Kanal se zove na YouTube Red Thread ili kao crvena nit i 3 youtubera, ima kao neku kolaboraciju. Onaj, kako se zove, Charlie ili Pingvin Z ili kako već, onaj lik, čupavi. On, Jackson i Isaiah ili ti Vendigun. I svi oni imaju kao sad taj Charlie, on ima kao te komentari vide, taj Vendigun on pravi kao te neke dokumentarce o tim kao nekim fiktivnim i kao realnim čudovištima tipa babarogama i šta ti ja znam. I, znaš, recimo prvi video im je bio o Goatmanu, ili legendi o Goatmanu, to je kao urbana legenda tamo u Americi. Pa onda prošli koji sam gledao bio je o Slendermanu, kako je nastala legenda o Slendermanu. Ono, kao internet meme. Pa onda slučaj gdje su dve devojčice od 13 godina, 14, izbole treću, 30-40 puta, ne znam koliko su puta izbole. I ova je preživjela. Ne znam kako su to bili ubodi, šta ja znam, ali preživjela je napad i oporavila se. Da, a ove dve su završile, čini mi se, u nekoj mentalnoj instituciji.
Kako to da ujebeno preživi nož?
Pa, ti mi reci. I imaš i nekakav film tipa B produkcija o tome. Slenderman mislim se zove. Uopšte nema veze o Slendermanu, ima veze s tim što su njih dve ono mentalno labile ličnosti i u Tripoli su da je Slenderman pravi, da im je on naredio da ne znam, ubiju ovu i bolest. I kaže, taj njihov video, ta tri youtubera je bio suštini kao istraživanje kao tih kao urbanih legendi, pa ne znam, drugi video im bi bio, svi videi su im otprilike po sat nešto vremena. Ne moraš dosta njih i da gledaš, otprilike slušam i ponekad bacim pogled ako bace neku tabelu, neku fotku.
Da, nešto.
I na primjer o nestalim, bila ti je recimo o Boeing kompaniji koja recimo zanemaruje sigurnosne propise. Ja kad sam gledao, znači nisam mogao da verujem. Da, recimo neke kvarove na njihovim letalicama se ne popravljaju materijalom koji je predviđen za to, nego sa tipa materijalom s otpada, kako kažu, junk metal, razumeš, najjeftiniji mogući, ono krš metal. Pa ne znam, imaju, umjesto da su Boeing 747 ili koji je već, umjesto da su ga zamenili, oni su mu samo motor prepravili i ostala valjda masa i krila nisu balansirane za tu snagu motora, ni za te visine na kojima on leti. I onda je Boeing razvio kao neki manuvar, ali on nije održiv u svim uslovima i dešava se da ta procedura kao ne uspe, da avion krene u nosedive, to ti ono kad ponire, znaš, i iz toga sredka koji možeš čupati. Pa ne znam, bio slučaj da je Boeing recimo u, ne znam, pre godinu dve, da je vrata su otpala. Znaš, ona vrata da putnici ulaze. Da, vrata su odletala usred leta. I nastala je dekompresija u kabini i ja mislim da je sreća pa niko nije izvučen napolje. Mislim. Tek su bili poletali. I morali su da se ono prinudno slete. Dakle, gledam dokumentaciju. Muziku ponekad slušam, kad sam raspoložen. Recimo kad ne radimo ovako retardirano ono drugu smenu, to mi je... Ti budeš tu popodne ili si mene samo ovako... Ili se ja osjećam počastvovan tvojim prisustvom?
To najveće u posljednje vrijeme si počastvovan, jer veruj mi i sam vidiš na što su ove igre postale, sve samo skinove štampu. Nemam šta ni da igram s nekim, brate, ne igra mi se ništa u pičku, znaš?
Pa nemoj ni da se trudiš.
Izgubio sam volju za igrom, brate, za
ako si izgubio dodir s time, to je onda overload.
Tako da je išao po gradu tamo, pio kafu sa mojima, bla bla tamo, bilo šta drugo radi, mislim. Ali okej i ovo, što da ne...
Znaš šta su igre, ja kažem, vid eskapizma. Ili ti bekstva iz realnosti. Način da se ubije slobodno vreme. Znači, pa da. Znači ja uzmem, to ti isto i čitanje knjige i ispijanje kafe i bleja sa razumeš poznanicima, prijateljima, rodbinom. Eventualno ono što bi mogao da kažeš da nije bekstvo iz realnosti, bilo bi nešto što ti stvarno voliš da radiš mimo toga. Meni ovo u suštini opušta, isključim mozak i radim nešto drugo, ali to je zato što sam ja takav, ja mogu da kažeš ti, multitaskujem, mogu da pričam s tobom i radim ovo. Sad ono što ne mogu da radim je recimo da uzem u sred ove priče iako imam taj bežični headset, pa sad odem u dvorište i krenem da zalivam voćke, znaš, to bi mi bilo malo mnogo. Zato bi već trebao neki neuralni implant, recimo, da bi kontrolisao računar u isto vreme. Aj, kao mogu da pričam s tobom, pretpostavljam, ako uključim na headsetu mikrofon. Znaš, kao mogu, jel? Ni ja nisam toliko multitasker. Dok sam za računarom, aj mogu da multitaskam, nije problem. A imaš ljude koji su multitask taj kao doveli do sljedećeg nivoa. To bi ti bilo, pomozi mi reći, kad recimo neko se javi na telefon i kao priča s njim, a istovremeno i pokušava da kao vodi razgovor s tobom ili, znaš, a to je da.
Ili voziš auto, pušiš i javljaš se na telefon.
Da, i menjaš usput brzine i gledaš na semaforima. Ali to ne mogu svi ljudi. Mogu ljudi koji su profesionalni vozači ili koji imaju dobar fokus, razumeš, čak i njima može biti problem ako recimo auto ispred tebe zakoči, a on je recimo, možeš kažeš ti jednom rukom recimo puši cigaru i drugom recimo drži telefon recimo aj na vratu i sa levom rukom recimo drži volan. I sad treba da odreaguje u sekundi recimo kad se neko prestroji ili ne daj Bože neko skoči pred auto. Mislim, znaš ti, to nema šanse. Kao onda kad je ona žena zakočila ispred Kesića, znaš. Ti to Milan pričao o tome?
Nije, možda i jeste, ali sam zaboravio.
Išli smo iz Lovćenca kroz onaj Feketić, preko petlje prema Srbobranu i Novom Sadu. I jedna žena prikoči ispred nas naglo, a zašto je prikočila? Zato što je iskočila mačka na put. I žena prikočila da je ne prigazi, da nije ciljno da ona prikoči, mi se zabijemo u nju, krenemo da se zabijemo u nju, a druga opcija je bila, video je on je mogao da je zaobiđe, ali je levo bio kamion.
Bolje u nju, da, nego...
I onda jebi ga udario na kočnicu i jebi ga klepio nazad u branik. Sad, ne znam kolika je bila šteta to već, ako se setiš mora bi da pitaš njega, ja ne znam tačno. Nije nešto velika bilo šteta.
Napred nešto sjebano.
Je, i kod nje, ali uglavnom niko nije poginuo, znaš, to je sve materijalna šteta, jebeš to. Razume, žena je bila malo na ivici histerije, nije se to nikad desilo, nije ni ona htjela to da uradi, jebi ga, tako se desilo da je recimo auto, da je bila suprotna traka slobodna, mi smo mogli da je zaobiđemo, vjerojatno, i nikom ništa, razumeš? Ali, a opet, da će Kesić da se ne ljuti, Kesić ima običaj, a nije on tu jedini, ti možda znaš čemu pričam, da vozi jako blizu automobilu, tipa koliko je ta bezbedno ostojanje, tipa 20 metara, tako?
2,5 metra.
2,5 metara bezbedno ostojanje?
Da, misliš, rastojanje od kola treba da bude 2,5 metra.
Mi smo bili tu negdje.
Slušaj, 2,5 metra kada se stoji, a ovako u daljini pa 20 metara, da.
Pa 20, nismo mi bili na 20, mi smo bili 10-ak.
Znači Kesić voli da se malo pribija
uz guz. I to ga je Milan isto, znaš, malo, nije ga napušio, znaš, nego jebi ga, to, mislim, vidiš šta bude, u većini slučajeva ništa, ali ako, to bilo kad, ti pričao, Milan, kad smo se vozili kroz, opet ja sam sve neki svedok tim nekim nemilim događajima. Kad smo se vozili kroz Novi Sad i gledamo kroz prozor, znaš, ja sad kako vozi on polako kroz saobraćaj, ja pogledam desno, brate, vidim neka cura, znaš, tesna odeća, nabacana. Ja gledam, okej, znaš, u redu. Ne, nije sad da zurim, ja pogledam levo, brate, vidim Milan gleda u mene. On gleda u mene. Ja pogledam ispred nas. Ko gleda napred? Ja pogledam ispred nas. Brate, znači špic neki saobraćaja, žena ispred nas. Znači 5 automobila ispred nas, prikoči. Znaš. I samo tuk. I svi znaš, krenu da usporavaju da koče, Milan I je, uspio je da prikoči, ali ono, znaš, je klepio od pozadi. I onda on izlazi iz auta, priča s ženom, kaže meni ne progovara ništa, ti si bak sus, ti ćeš me ukopat. Ja rekao dobro. Ja ono izađem, šetam se, gledam malo. Ono što ja ne komentariš. Priča on sa ženom, to neka Mađarica. A nema tu Milan, desi kad sam. Pričam ove dogodovštine sa autoputa. Priča on... A to je bilo davno. A nisam ja, to s prošlosti. Došao sam ja stari čovjek, pa se prisjećam stvari koje su bili. I ništa ono, žena kao nešto kuka, kako ću ja to da popravim, ja pogledaj, a Milan je nju opizdio u kuku. On je udario pod uglom, svoj auto je razjebao, razumeš, onaj prednji deo, razumeš, onaj far.
Ti da kažem, ako je udario u kuku, brate, pa sjebao je sebe.
Far i onaj, kako zove, fender, onaj, onu plastiku napred, znaš šta je ono već.
Da, branik, kao da.
Branik, da. I to je razvalio. Znači, bukvalno puklo. Ali ništa nama nije bilo, ništa ženi nije bilo. Pa nije se žalila da je, razumeš, šator, ništa. Niko ništa.
Pa ne, branik to mi služi uglavnom, zbog toga se radi kao da bude od plastike i da bude bučan, tako da možda čuješ. Da ne sjebeš dublje kola, nego znaš da se ustavi na braniku. Da, reci, slušaj.
I žena, a kako ćemo mi ovo da popravimo, kako ću ja to da sredim? Kaže Milan, pa gospođo, ja imam 1000 dinara u džepu. Hoćete li, kaže, da vam platim, da vam neko ispolira kuku, šta? Žena nešto kao počela da gunđa i kao usede u kola i ona odi.
Kaži mi, je li dolazi on, šta se dešava s njim?
A ne znam, ja ove nedelje, kod mene. Pa jučer sam ga vidio, vozio bajs. Sad mi ti reci, pojma nema.
Znači on ne igra ni Hunters.
Upali Steam ako ga imaš instalirano.
Prošle nedelje.
I pogledaj, reci mi kad je bio u Huntu, pisat će ti, znaš. Pisat će ti ono, this person has been online.
Da.
To se u redu s njim ili?
A, čalim ono.
A to da znam, pa to je već bilo, ima ono...
A, ne znam, možda je pao u neku...
Pa ima toga, pa ne uhvati svakog isto to.
Danas je 10.
Ne odmah, tome se radi.
Pa to.
Danas je 10.
10. da.
4. aprila igru jebote.
Pa nedelju dana.
Da li je moguće ovo?
Ne samo Hunt, bilo šta o tome se radi. A dobro, to mu je ono bila...
Nije brate, evo ja sam bio, kad prošle nedelje brate, bio je na Discordu i...
A, bio je?
Dobro, bio je, mi pričamo za Hunt.
Znam da se gađao s ovima pa je nešto otišao da jede, pa ovi nisu htjeli da ga čekaju kad se vratio.
Jeste?
Brate...
A dobro, to je sad malo ono, to kad neće ga čekati, to ti sad malo teasing, razumeš?
On nije nego čovjek je rekao da ide da jede, a Boris i Tomislav, oni kao rekli da piče jedan duo i znaš ono.
A to oni namjerno radi, jedan drugog podbadi, znaš, nije to ništa...
On nije nego otišao čovjek da jede, igrali su par partija zajedno i znaš kad idem da jedem ovo ne, kao da ga mi opičemo jedno dok se vrati i stigu je malte ne pred kraj te njihove partije, ono, jebi ga treba mu 15 minuta da jede i sve. Dok napravi, to je za večera. I onda kao, jebi ga, kao, hoćeš da nam sačekaš da završimo, ona kao neću sve što čekati, kao idem nešto i onda je nešto tu kliktao, valjda, ali bio je tu.
Da, uglavnom nema vremena, njegov raspored je uvijek i kad mu je Ćale bio, znaš, uvijek je u nekoj stisci s vremenom, znaš. Dobro, okej, jeste.
Ili uradio nešto za onu tužbu?
Pojma ne.
Što je htio da sastavi?
Pojma ne. Ja znam da sam ja htio da raskinem ugovor sa Telekomom, da uzmem kod Beotelneta ugovor novi. Zato što Telekom je pojačao cenu za neki 600-700 dinara.
Nisu to uradili, jebim, pa smatram.
Ali nisu moj ugovor, moram da pogledam ugovor, klauzula. Ja znam da ja plaćam njima penal ako ja raskinem ugovor pre kraja isteka roka.
Ne, bilo je čak i objava, to što si ti pričao, baš je bilo, to su svi uradili, povećali su cene tih usluga, bez ikakvog aneksa, najavi tih stvari i baš su ono kao ljudi kao tražili savjete, ovo oni neki su kao advokati oglasili, da s obzirom da su oni promenili
Da, oni,
način
nismo mi.
i izvor tog ugovora, da ti kao klijent imaš pravo jednostavno ono, ćao, zdravo, prijetno.
Pa da, jednostavno će da...
Jer ti nisi bio nikako zvanično obavešten o
Ne,
tome ili
ne
nije bilo
unapred.
nikakvog dogovora.
Da.
Jel, znaš, ono kao, oni ti menjaju ugovor, razumeš, vi ste se
Jeste.
dogovorili jednu za jednu cenu i oni su rekli kao, znaš kako, sad ćemo ovako. Tako da, po tome, znaš, kao imaš pravo da i ti sada promeniš svoje...
Ne, ja sam teo promijeniti provajdera kad su počeli da postavljaju banderi da razvlače kablove, razumeš, kroz komšiluk. I kad su ljudi rekli da su uzeli taj Beltelnet optiku, ja sam
Znaš
čuo...
kako, sad za Beltel ja ne znam, vidi, meni je Beltelnet bio prvi internet provider. Ja s njima imam užasno iskustvo, a to je bilo dok je bio ADSL.
A, pa to je to.
Znači to je ono prvi, znači to kad je krenulo, to ti je bila internet brzina 256, razumeš? Megabita po sekundi, ono. Znači to je ono prvo bilo i to ti kažem ti bio taj ADSL. Meni je iskustvo s njima bilo ono, sranje i loše.
Moment samo, taj nešto Predrag kaže. Izvoli.
Aha.
Ništa nisam rekao, kažem evo me samo.
Aha, izvinjavam se.
Nije bio tu.
Da. Pa nismo
tako da ne znam, ono, možda se raspita za Beltelnet.
Slušaj, meni su iste takve stvari pričali za Telekom. Telekom je užasan, prekida, izbaca ovo ono. Pa ja nisam zahtjevan
korisnik. To možda
korisnik.
čekaš danas kod svih, to danas možda čekaš kod svih, znaš zbog čega. Infrastruktura za sve te internete su iste, tu se ništa nije uložilo, ništa se nije dodalo, a korisnika je sve više i više, tako da jebi ga, znaš, ono kao, bukvalno je pitanje koliko ćeš sreće da imaš, znači ne radi se o kvalitetu.
Nije to sreće, sad ću ti ja reći, ja plaćam, kako oni kažu, do 10 megabajta protok po sekundi. Neđe pričam o megabitima, nisam retardiran, izvinjavam se. Do 10. To što ja ne mogu 5, 6 nekada izvučem, to je kao, što kažeš ti, zasićenje mreže, centrala je takva, ako mi nameste kao sve, onda se dešava da moj komšiluk nema dobru konekciju, znaš.
O tome ti pričam, znači zato što je to zasićenje.
Izbaci moje komšije iz sistema, onda oni zovnu tehničara, dođe tehničar na teren, namesti sve, onda ja ispadnem iz sistema. Onda opet dođe tehničar, namesti kod mene, ja više ne zovem zato što neću da, razumeš, igramo se back and forth. I to je bilo sve pre jednu godinu dana, ja sam se pomirio s tim, da plaćam koliko plaćam, pa kao možda će biti bolje, možda neće, drž ne daj. Kako mi je vimate. Ali što kažeš ti, nisam...
Ako nešto ne urade povodom toga, neće biti bolje.
A pa evo ja ću da uradim, promenit ću provider. Nije problem. Ali sam rekao sebi da ću prvo da uzmem, dok evo sam rekao, zadužio sam da nađe ugovor, da ga pogleda. Da nema neka skrivena klauzula, nešto, mada ja znam da sam u pravu. I bez da sam te sad pitao, znam da sam u pravu da ne možeš ti da sklopiš ugovor sa mnom, ako ga ja raskinem, ok, ja plaćam penal. Ali ako ti promeniš ugovor dok smo pod istim tim uslovima koji su prvi, ja mogu da ga raskinem. Bez penala, mislim.
Poslovno u tome je stvar, znači bukvalno sad kao možeš, ali jebi...
Mogu i hoću.
Treba naći, pogotovo što je to monopol, malte ne, brate.
Ne mogu da nađem, mogu da uzmem Wi-Fi internet, to ti je kao 3G kako ili 2.4G. To je sranje, to sam već imao. To sam već imao.
Ozbiljno?
Da, to sam imao pre 15-20 godina. Dok nije bilo ADSL. To ste bile brzine od 4 megabajta, čini mi se. Do pola megabajta.
A dobro, nije bitno samo brzina, jebi ga i ta, kažeš
stabilnost. Ne, dešavalo se da se okrene repetitor u susednom mestu, okrene se nekako od vetra ili od pičke materne, okrene se malo na dole, na gore, levo, desno i niko više ne uzvoti signal. I onda mi se žalimo nas 10-20, onda oni pošli radnika, to prođe dan, dva i kao to radi. Jebeš to.
Pa to, stabilnost,
A za optiku nema ko da distribuira više kod nas. Ja sam zvao Telekom i rekao sam im ok, neću da promenim provajdera, da li možete da im promenite paket sa ADSL na optički internet. Pa kao mi imamo te usluge, ali ja mislim da kao nemamo kao u vašem mjestu. Ja kako nemate, rekao znam da su radnici bili prošlog leta, postavili su bandere, razvukli su kablove, postavili žice. A kao pa to nije, rekao šta? Kaže to nije naša oprema. To je oprema drugog provajdera. Ja rekao jeli? Zanimljivo.
O.
Jarko, dobro.
Hvala baš zanimljivo.
Da, zanimljivo. Ništa. I tad sam razmišljao da promenim provajdera. Ako vi ne možete da mi pružite konkurentnu, razumeš, adekvatnu uslugu. I nije to samo, kažeš ti, brzine u pitanju. I za Telekom I za Telekom sam ja čuo da je loš. I to je istina. Dešava se da ta ADSL, ta televizija, jel tako, kabelska televizija koju imaš, da ne radi ili prekida. Ili da router moraš da restartuješ non stop. 3-4 puta. Sve ti ne da neki IP koji je okej. Ali kao ajde. Isti kurac u suštini svi ti ADSL provideri, nisam teo se zajebam kod toga. A kažem, imao sam opciju da uzem optički, ali nisam teo se zajebam jer bi onda morao da plati jedno pola godine do godinu dana vrednosti pretplate, razumeš ovima, zato što sam ja raskinu ugovor, ali dobro, vrtim se u krug. Reci ti meni, da li ima nešto o čemu si ti hteo da kažeš nešto ili da te ja pitam, pošto smo svi došli. Nije predrag.
Kako čekaj, nisam razumio, da li si me nešto hteo da kažem pošto smo svi došli?
Ne, da li si ti hteo da pričaš o nečemu, pošto sam ja bio, ne volim baš da okupiram toliko razgovor, razumeš sa sve.
Ne, nego vidio sam da se tu porekao kada se javim,
Šta vam te reći?
Došao sam se javim.
Jeli? Šta je sa Diablom 4? Taj PTR bi trebao da je pri kraju.
Ja sam se smorio sa Diablom, mislim brate, malo mi je sranje što su produžili ovu sezonu, baš mislim
u suštini sezona ne donosi bog zna šta novo. Jedino što mogu ja novo da probam je da probam još Necromancera i to je to. I onda imam izbora da napravim novog karaktera sa ovim novim sistemom, to je starog karaktera sa novim sistemom luta, ili da čekam ekspanziju. A jedino što može doneti malo taška svežeg vazduha je bukvalno nova ekspanzija, nova oblast, novi questovi, novi storyline, razumeš. Po mogućstvu da nije $100. Da nije $100.
Prekopiraju jebeni kontent iz ovog Diablo Immortala. Prekopirajte, brate, kontent, ono što vidite tamo evidentno da funkcioniše. Ako ne možete smisliti i ovako kopirate, brate, Diablo 3 i ono sve iz njega ubacujete sad ovdje pod drugim imenom. Imate, brate,
oprosti, to je Pit, to nije Greater Rift.
Da, Pit. Pit je daleko zanimljivo i daleko više inovativno ime i naziv.
Ne znam šta puše tamo u Blizzardu, ali šta god da je.
Ma ja sam te rekao, brate, kad su dobili otkaz, sam se nadao da su to ljudi, brate, koji su radili na Diablo 4 projektu, ono.
Ti si ih baš proklao.
A, brate, znači ali, znaš, ono kao, ko tebi brani da ti imaš dobre ideje, da se razumemo?
Nećemo nikog... Nećemo nikog... Da, a jedna je kao korporacija i kao ti kao executivesi, jeli, izvršni direktori, a drugi izgovor im je COVID. Samo recite da vas boli kurac, da je
to,
programiranje teško i što bi ja morao da to radim. Kao neko će to.
Ono kao, ti korporacija brani da ti budeš dobar programer i da završiš ono što treba. A isto tako, brate, mislim da ovi balansi što se tiče skillova i tih stvari, da dolaze mnogo sporo. Mnogo sporo, brate, dolaze ti balansi.
Onda nisi očigledno igrao Hunt Showdown dovoljno.
A dobro, Hunt Showdown je
Kad
relativno
pričaš,
malo.
mala kompanija, indie kompanija. To je nečiji komentar koji pročitaš na Redditu. Kaže, hey guys, Crytek is a real small indie company.
Da.
Kaže, give them some slacks, kao malo im kao popustite.
Da, to dobro sam kad tako.
Isto tako za Blizzard isto imaš takve komentare. Blizzard is a really small company. Indie company. O bože. Daj malo sad kao šala malo. Ne znam, onaj ga zove Rax. Rax je napravio 2-3 videa o PTR-u, o njegovim nekim zapažanjima. Napisao je neki Microsoft dokument kao s predlozima, to mislim, on je igrač i zato su napravili da PTR, da ljudi probaju koji hoće da igraju i da daje neko koji hoće da igraju neko svoje mišljenje. Ne znači da developeri moraju tako da urade. Ali mogli bi, jel da?
Da. To jeste tako što kažeš ti ne moraju, ali možda bi bilo lepo. Ali kažete, opet ta sezona 4 doneće ono, da kažete neke fine stvari koje su trebale da budu od početka u igre.
Nije sezona u pitanju. U pitanju je osnovna verzija igre i bez toga. To je ono što... Moram da pojedem nešto. Pa će biti kratak.
Došlo i dotle, a? Ti da
pa ne,
jedeš.
trebao bi da ručam. Ovo je doručak. Nisam zapravo doručkao. Pojeo sam jednu tortilju sa pudingom. To nije neki doručak. Kad smo pitali ljudi kao da li je to ta i ta promjena, zašto pričamo Hunt Showdown, jer sam to igrao većinu vremena sad. Da li ta i ta promjena u igri kao tu samo dok traje ovaj kao event ili kao taj Battle Pass, ili je kao za stalno? Ja kažem, ne, to je za stalno, a to što vi ne čitate, to je vaš problem. Ja sam po tom pitanju bolestan još od vremena Warcrafta ili Dota, kad god developer nešto promeni u igri, ja sam uvijek gledam, razumeš, da li je to samo privremeno neki buff ili fix ili je to stalno. I kako stvari stoje, to je stalno su, razumeš, promjene. Znači to nema veze sa sezonom 4. Ti ako napraviš non-ladder karaktera, kao ne sezonskog, i kreneš opet igraš, bojim se da ćeš da se opet giruješ, ali pozitivna stvar ti je što ćeš najvjerojatnije ispazniti 99% inventara od onih unikova koji ti ne trebaju ili nisu više validni. Samo da bi skinovali njihove efekte i sve u kantu za smeće. Ispaznit ćeš 99% steša i opet početi da se giraš, što je možda bolja ideja. Znači imat ćeš content u osnovnoj igri i bez sezone, i bez igraš sezone. Tako da je to okej. Ali to je trebalo i pre prve sezone da bude, ali nema veze. Dobro ste se setili. O Diablo 4 pričamo. Meni kao taj loot 2.0, da kažemo tako. Pio. Imam još 20 minuta XP boost. Da li to da radim sebi ili da ne radim? Ne radim se. Sad od sebe da teram da iskoristim 15-20 minuta ovoga. Nemam pojem. Neće. Mislim neće sutra. Nemam snage.
Šta se u nedelji bio sve neka druga?
Ne, još uvijek sam.
A i dalje, aha.
Idem u Čekaj da se samo odbotujem. U 1:15:20 idem. Tako da... Ono... Ako budeš tu ujutro sutra ili... Sutra i preksutra bit ću tu ujutro, nažalost. Osim ako ne dobijem otkaz ili ako mi ne... Pa zato što... Ne volim to, dođem kući u 10 sati, mogu da se istuširam. I...
Spavaš, baciš kuntu, šta?
A ne.
A ne, a?
Ne. Ne, ja inače imam strog raspored za spavanje. Ja nisam kao Nenad. Nenad odspava sat vremena, popodne 2, i onda je budan do 3-4 ujutro. I onda ne znam da li ide da spava i u 7, pola 8, ne znam kad reče, otvara firmu i ide da radi. To mi je... Ne znam šta da mislim o tome. To možeš tako do određenih broja godina, dok te ne stigne umor ili ne osjetiš pre vremena, razumiješ?
Ali Milan ima najstrože spavanje.
Milan je fantastičan povodom tog pitanja.